he's kind of like the conscience of the football team. He's had a very rough upbringing and has come through his upbringing with an excellent attitude. I think he's just a great representative of Ole Miss.
Well, how about Michael Wallace, Coach? Would you talk a little bit about the progress that he's made this season?
Fantastic job. You know, he's made a lot of maturity for us during the 2 years he's been here. I think he's an excellent young man. He's one of the fastest players on our team, and we like him to catch the deep ball for us. He's getting better at understanding the deep routes. I think he's becoming a playmaker for us.
Over on the LSU side of the ball, Coach Ogeron, what is your opinion of the LSU running game? They've really stepped it up in the last few games, and what are your thoughts about the LSU running game and the fact that they use as many different backs as they do?
Well, you know, I think that they do a very good job. You can see each week they have certain formations and certain game plans for each defense that they see. They do a good job of that. They did a good job against us last year. I think that it looks like they settled on Keelan Williams, who's an excellent back. We recruited him. You know, he has some speed, and he hits the hole well, and he breaks some tackles. So I think it's a combination of good game planning, and it looks like Keelan Williams is performing well for him.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for taking time out to visit with us. Kevin, that will do it. When we come back, Game Day will continue, presented by Cox Sports Television. We'll hear from LSU head coach Les Miles, so stay with us here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The ultimate source for SEC merchandise online is SECstore.com. With more than 6,000 items, this exciting superstore features the best selection of conference and school apparel and collectibles. Authentic SEC Champions locker room caps and T-shirts are available online exclusively at SECstore.com, along with specially designed products for ladies and children. Be sure to check out the weekly promotions and the best selection of SEC merchandise on the World Wide Web at SECstore.com.
Your connection to LSU sporting events is the Tiger Ticket Office, located in the main lobby of the Athletic Administration Building. Advanced ticket sales to all events are available from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, on both a season and single game basis. For complete seating and price information, call the LSU Ticket Office at 225-578-2184 or toll free 1-800-960-8587 and see the Tigers in action whenever you can.
On game days, LSU coaches communicate by way of wireless technology. Did you know that LSU students have access to wireless technology every day? In fact, Intel named LSU among the most unwired campuses in the country. Findings were based on the number of areas on campus with wireless access to the internet, as well as the student-to-computer ratio and the percentage of campus covered by wireless technology. LSU has a great game plan, on and off the field. Hey, Tiger fans, show your Tiger pride and keep LSU beautiful on game day. Here are 4 easy ways you can help. Mike likes a clean yard, so be sure to use the LSU trash bags and litter cans. Save our oak trees. Don't park on the roots. Keep our families safe. Leave glass at home. And put your aluminum cans in the LSU recycling bins. LSU is a leader in game day recycling efforts. Let's all work together to keep LSU beautiful. Thanks, Tiger fans.
And we are back on LSU Game Day, presented by CST. It's now time to head down to the LSU locker room and join Jordy Holtberg for his pregame chat with LSU head football coach Les Miles.
All right, thank you very much. Jordy Holtberg here with head coach Les Miles. It's the final home game tonight, Coach, for 22 seniors. What have those young men meant to you?
Well, they've given us great leadership. They won a lot of ball games. They've worked awfully hard for their school and their coaching staff and this team. And very important that we play well and send them off with victory.
Well, it's already been in the books now that Arkansas has wrapped up the West. LSU still has an awful lot to play for. How are you going to address your team about that?
The most important game in America today is taking place in Tiger Stadium. Tonight kicks off at 7, and it's Ole Miss. There is no other game. And, it's unfortunate that, we've been arithmetically eliminated from the opportunity to represent the West. But that's not going to damp our spirits. We're going to come out and play hard and go get victory. And there's a lot to play for. The opportunity at 10 victories, the opportunity at a BCS berth, the opportunity at being the best in the West. So we have to take care of business tonight. I mean, everything, lay that aside. Who cares what the scores are today, other than one, Ole Miss, LSU.
How has week of practice been, and the health of this ball club?
We're a little nicked. We had a real physical game against Alabama, and Tennessee, Alabama, and then this one. It's not just perfect, but we got all the working parts. We'll put a great team on the field tonight.
So practice has gone well, and the game plan is in. Let's talk about Ole Miss and what strengths they bring. I know on the defensive side of the football, they have a pretty darn good linebacker, maybe one of the best in the country.
I think both linebackers are very athletic and get to things, and if you don't put a helmet on those guys, they'll make running the football very hard to do. So we've kind of concentrated on that and made that a goal of ours. They're a very good defensive unit. They've added a few things to their package, and they're more diverse, and they're much improved. Our offense understands it, certainly planning to attack it well.
When Ole Miss has the football, Schaefer's one of those quarterbacks that can he's dangerous because he can run it and he can throw it.
Yeah, a guy with good feet, and makes all the throws, operates a little bit more mobile than the quarterbacks we've seen. Not necessarily a great fast running quarterback, but a guy has a lot of athletic ability. When you run those naked boots, he gets on the perimeter and he can run in there and get you 10 yards and turn right around and make a nice throw. So he's really improved their offense.
You have really, when you've had the ball, you've really been effective of late running the football. I know that's been a goal of yours from day one. How have things turned around? And is it a combination of things? The fact that Jamarcus Russell has thrown the ball so effectively, you found some players now that can get to the outside. Is it a combination of all that?
Balance certainly helps both the run and the pass. So Jamarcus Russell coming off the starting the season, throwing the ball as well as he has really opened the running lanes. And then, really some experience, some of these young running backs that we have. An offensive line that's really kind of gelling as a group with some youth and some age. It's kind of a maturing process in the running game. We feel like today will be another step there.
Okay, let's talk about the keys to victory tonight for LSU to get, as we count, 9.
It's a big number, and it's an opportunity to be undefeated at home. Opportunity to send the seniors off on with the right feel in their last game in Tiger Stadium. There's a lot to play for.
So what are the keys now? What do you have to do to get this very important win?
Control line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. They have a nice tailback. They'll run the football, and if they run the football, we wouldn't expect that. We would expect that our defensive front will stop their running attack and make them one dimension, and then feel like our defense would have their way. Offensively, we got to control that front. We got to put a helmet on those linebackers. So, and that'll then open up the passing and running. So it's a physicality up front, offense and defensively.
Would it be fair for me to say, I haven't been to practice because I've been out of town, but I think this LSU defense takes a lot of pride in what they do. And I think maybe last week Alabama did something that may have been an aberration. I think the Tiger defense will come in here with a severe chip on their shoulder, and I think Ole Miss might be in some trouble.
Well, I enjoyed the fact that our defense had to rally to stop a team. It wasn't just 3 and out, a penalty and a first down, and the opponent makes a good play, and a quarterback quarterback got hot, and yet that defense found a way in the back end of a drive to stop an offense, and that's just what they need to do. And that's going to serve us well in tight games, maybe tonight and certainly in the future.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jordy.
All right, that's head coach Les Miles. Jim, back to you.
As they finish the alma mater and the playing of the national anthem, as this big arena is beginning to fill up. It is a sellout crowd. They are listed at over 92,000 here tonight, and they'll be making some noise as this is the final game. Final home game of the regular season. LSU and Ole Miss is a special game in many ways to an awful lot of people, and especially to the 22 guys who are about to come out on the field and be honored here before the kickoff tonight. And, of course, those are the LSU seniors. We'll take this time out. When we come back, Doug Morrow will join us in the booth as Game Day, presented by Cox Sports Television, continues on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
We're here with rookie phenom Howard Justin, who holds the record for never dropping a ball ever.
My brother tried to hit me with a football when I was 2. I caught it and I slammed it in his oatmeal.
How do you do it?
I avoid things that drop. That's why I switched to Singular. They have the fewest drop calls of any wireless carrier.
Have you ever dropped anything?
My jaw when I realized my calls stay connected with Singular.
Howard Justin doesn't drop balls or calls.
Singular, raising the bar.
Coverage is not available in all areas. The all-over network covers over 273 million people and is growing. Drop calls based on nationwide experience among national carriers.
To celebrate the return of LSU football, your South Louisiana John Deere dealers are having a fantastic fall savings event. Stop by any of your South Louisiana John Deere dealers and watch the savings pile up on compact and utility tractors, lawn and garden equipment, zero-turn mowers, and Gator vehicles. Unbelievable financing options are available. Just stop in today to your local South Louisiana John Deere dealers and begin raking in the savings. See for yourself why nothing runs like a John Deere.
Today on Swapping Places, we've redone Val's family room. Okay, Val, open your eyes.
Whoa, what the?
Yep, our designers really outdid themselves this time.
Why is there a grand caravan in my family room?
Have a seat. How's it feel?
Comfortable, but...
Just check out these in-floor storage bins.
Wow, cool.
3 cheers for Val.
Ever consider decaf?
Huh?
For a space that'll never get old, it's Dodge Grand Caravan, the only minivan with stow and go. 2 rows of seats that fold into the floor. Now with a generous cash allowance or low financing.
Hey, Lynn. All this for that final fling for Julie and her friends?
Yeah, Greg and I wanted to do something, to get them all together one last time before college.
Great idea. Now, Lynn, you won't be allowing alcohol at this party, will you?
Oh, no way. Most parents have the good sense to know it's illegal to serve teens alcohol at parties. Nope, no alcohol.
Just checking.
No matter the occasion, it's never okay to host a teen drinking party. When it's time to celebrate, prevent, don't provide alcohol to minors. A message from Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
And we are back on LSU Game Day, presented by CST. It's now time for LSU Fighting Tiger football. The Fighting Tigers taking on Ole Miss tonight. Let's rejoin Doug Morrow in the broadcast booth. Douglas?
Thank you very much, Kevin, and I sure am glad you're feeling a lot better. We missed having you last week. Charlie did a terrific job in your place, but no one can take your place.
Doug, that's I'm getting a little teary-eyed.
But I'm glad you're back, buddy. And
thanks, buddy. I'm glad to be back.
Glad you feel better. LSU seniors being introduced now, and boy, this is a terrific setting. I'm glad that there are a lot of folks in the stands and have gotten into the stands to take their seats for the game. This is a wonderful opportunity and a one-of-a-kind opportunity for players the week of this game who remember this is the last time I'm going to put on an LSU uniform in Tiger Stadium before a game and play in a game. And that's something that it really hits you during the week. I think Les Miles mentioned during the week that something happened to him when he was at Michigan. He realized it during the bowl game, actually. It's the last time he'd ever be wearing a Michigan uniform competing for the school, and it's something that really hits you because it is the last time. There will never be, ever, the rest of your life, another opportunity to do it. So these players appreciate that. They've had it pointed out to them, and I guarantee you they are prepared to play their best so that the memory you have of them in Tiger Stadium is going to be the very best memory you can possibly have. Let me give you the keys to the game, the Chrysler Jeep game plan. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard, and Jeep, go everywhere, do everything in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Wrangler. Well, Coach Miles talked about what the keys were, and that is the line up front. Control it. If you control it, and this is true for virtually every game of football, it is won in the trenches. All of the glamour guys, the receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, all of them are inconsequential without the ability at least to have a stalemate up front. But in a game like this, LSU's got to control the line of scrimmage. They've got to dominate in the defensive line. When Ole Miss has the ball, they've got to put pressure on Brent Schaefer, who was the youngster who transferred to Ole Miss after having been the starting quarterback at Tennessee, got kicked off the team, went to a place called University of the Sequoias. Don't know if that is a place out in the forest where they have some professors who show up, or if it's an actual school. But he from there went to Ole Miss, signed, and he's been their quarterback this year. He's a pretty talented young guy, been erratic, had 10 interceptions to only 7 touchdowns, so it's been a tough season for him, and it's largely because Ole Miss just does not have an outstanding offense to put around him. They've got a very good running back in Benjarvis Green Ellis, and he is capable of being a regular steady back, not a breakaway guy, not a guy that's going to hurt you on the long run, but a good solid inside runner who can pick up some yards if you don't hit him solid. So that's the key for when LSU on defense is going to play Ole Miss's offense. That's to control the line of scrimmage. LSU offensively, well, Patrick Willis, best linebacker in the Southeastern Conference. LSU learned it last year, even though they dominated Ole Miss up in Oxford. Patrick Willis was a guy who makes solid tackles. He's just a tremendous competitor, great player, and he'll play in the NFL for a long time. If they block him and if they can get him out of the way, he plays in the middle linebacker, and he's got great speed. If they can control him to some degree, they will have a lot of success offensively. Jamarcus Russell though he's not a senior, this may be his last game here in Tiger Stadium, and I think that he probably, even if it turns out not to be, he probably looks at it as the possibility, and he is going to try to have one of his best outings, and he's had a lot of good ones this season. So I predict that LSU will come away with a decisive victory. That's the way that it ought to be. LSU seniors continue to be introduced. Chase Pittman now coming out on the field there, meeting their parents and walking off the field with them. And let me give you the lineups for today's game. They are brought to you by Whitney Bank. It takes a Whitney banker. Defensively, Ole Miss will start across the front. Greg Hardy, 6'5", 240, a freshman. Marcus Tillman, a defensive tackle, 6'4", 255, a freshman. Brandon Jenkins is the nose tackle, 6'4", 280, a junior. And Vicente DeLoach, 6'3", 260, a junior. The linebackers, Rory Johnson, 6'1", 235, a junior. Patrick Willis, number 49, 6'2", 240, a senior, and a great linebacker. Jamarcus Sanford, 5'10", 200, a sophomore. Nate Banks is one corner, 5'11", 180, a junior. The other is Tremaine McBride, 5'10", 180, a senior. And the safeties are Brian Brown, 5'9", 210, a senior, and Charles Clark, 6 feet, 195, a senior. Offensively, Mike Wallace will start at split end number 2. He's 6 feet, 180, a sophomore, and a speed burner, and they try to get him deep and take a shot with him. Michael O'Hare, the left tackle, 6'5", 322, a sophomore. Andrew Wicker, 6'5", 295, a senior. The center, Corey Actis, 6'5", 290, a junior. Right guard, number 77, John Jerry, 6'5", 350, a freshman. The right tackle is a sophomore, Maurice Miller, 6'3", 345. You've heard the weights now, right? On the right side, right guard 350, right tackle 345, the tight end 275. He's 6'4", 275. Lawrence Lilly, he's a senior, number 88. The flanker, Shea Hodge, 6'1", 195, a freshman. So their wide receivers are a sophomore and a freshman. The quarterback, Brent Schaefer, 6'2", 205, a junior. Benjarvis Green Ellis, 5'11", 215, a junior at the tailback, and Jason Cook, a sophomore, 6 feet, 235, is the fullback. LSU will start defensively. Tyson Jackson, Glenn Dorsey, Marlon Favorite, and Chase Pittman across the front. Ali Highsmith at one linebacker. Jacob Cottrell, we expect, will be the starter in the middle. And Darry Beckwith will not play. Don't expect that he will dress. Perry Riley played an awful lot, and we expect that he will play at that spot. They moved Luke Sanders around last week after the injury to Beckwith, and Sanders may also play at that outside linebacker spot. In the secondary, Jonathan Zenon, Jesse Daniels, we expect to be back tonight, LaRon Landry, and Chevis Jackson. Offensively, Craig Davis, who got injured a couple of weeks ago, is able to play. Now, whether he will start, whether he will play, we just are not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see as they actually come out and line up. But he is projected to be able to play, and I expect that he will do so. So Ron Black, the left tackle, Herman Johnson, the left guard, Brett Helms at center, Brian Johnson, the right guard, Pete Diakowski, the right tackle, Mitt Cole or Richard Dixon at tight end, and when they're two, both of those guys will be the two. Dwayne Bowe at one wide receiver, Jamarcus Russell, the quarterback, Jacob Hester or Keelan Williams at running back. Hester sometimes will play fullback, and other times Sean Jordan will be the fullback. So there you have the starting lineups for tonight's game. The captain's going out on the field, and Jimbo, it's about time for the flip.
It is time for the toss of the coin, and let's go down to the Eye of the Tiger and Jordy Hultberg.
The captains exchange handshakes. There's a couple of other seniors that are still in the locker room, but here we go.
Wilbur Hackett, your umpire. My name is Matt Austin. I'm your referee. Ole Miss, you're the visiting team, so you're going to call the toss. That's a head. That's a tail. If I drop it, we're going to do it again, all right? What's your call? Good. Tails is the call. And it's tails. You've won the toss.
We'll defer.
The second half. Very well.
Yeah, we want the ball. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Ole Miss calls tails. It comes up tails. They will defer. And on this senior night in Tiger Stadium, the Tigers will take the football first, and they'll go from right to left on your radio dial. Jimbo, Douglas, let's have another good one tonight.
Let's have some fun tonight. Okay, Jordy, thank you very much. Second consecutive week, the Tigers, Doug, have lost the toss. They elected to receive last week. It worked well for them. They took the opening kickoff, went down and scored in less than 2 minutes against Alabama. Actually got out in front 14-0 in that ball game before Bama made a game out of it. And we'll see what happens here tonight. As the Tigers, as a squad, come rushing out onto the field, as does Ole Miss on the far side of the field. All the seniors are already on the sidelines, and for the first time this year, LSU was represented only by Justin Vincent and Chris Jackson on the Eye of the Tiger for the toss of the coin. But this is the home finale, the last game in Tiger Stadium for 2006. Big crowd on hand here tonight, Doug. All the indications are that this will be an exciting ball game to watch.
Jim, in days past, this is a game that both teams were ranked in the top 10, and you would have a real importance attached to the game this late in the season, and it was always Ole Miss, then Alabama, just the reverse of the way it is now. Not so with this Ole Miss game, and last week not so with the Alabama game, but it is important because of the tradition. It's a neighboring state. A lot of these kids played against each other, were recruited against each other. They know each other. They've competed now, the seniors, for 3 years against the others, and they want to win the game. And it's important, and teams in the Southeastern Conference have proven in the last several weeks that every team has the ability to beat every other team. It doesn't make any difference what their records are. Every team can beat the other. Ole Miss is no exception. They have the capability of doing it. Now, whether they will or not, I don't believe. Because I believe that LSU is disciplined enough to be prepared, despite what happened today that deprived them of an opportunity to compete for the conference championship in Atlanta. LSU's players have an awful lot of pride and discipline, and they know, because they learned it, it's been instilled in them by this coaching staff and the previous coaching staff, to play one play at a time and just do the best you can on this play and then go forward. Don't look at what's going to happen when the season is over. You look at this game play by play, I think the LSU guys are the kind of people that are capable of doing that. And it's been very successful, and we'll see very, very quickly when they take the ball if they are of that mindset. So Ole Miss lining up to kick the ball. They'll be kicking from the north to south, left to right. They're dressed in navy blue jerseys, navy blue helmets, red stripe down the middle, gray silver pants with stripes on the side. LSU in their traditional white jerseys, gold pants, gold headgear. Here to give you the play-by-play, the voice of the Tigers, Jim Hawthorne.
All right, thank you very much. Will Mosley, number 17, will kick it away. The kickoff is brought to you by Cintas. Uniform people helping your business look and work better. Trendon Holiday, early Doucette back to receive. That one's going to go about a yard deep in the end zone, and it'll be fielded by Doucette, who will take a knee, and LSU will start there. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. At your neighborhood Associated Food stores, you'll find everything you need for your next tailgate party. So go ahead and sack 'em, Tigers, at your neighborhood Associated Food stores. We'd like to thank tonight's game sponsor, Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of LSU Athletics. Marcus Russell leads the Tigers up to the line of scrimmage. Justin Vincent will take the first snap. At tailback, Russell set 177 of 250, 71%, 2,364 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Here's the first play of the ball game. Receivers on both sides. Straight back to throw. And he does throw, and it is caught on the far side by the tight end for no gain. That was number 82, Richard Dixon, who caught it. Russell had a little pressure on him. He could not find his primary receiver. And Dixon was stopped at the 20-yard line on the play for no gain. A nice defensive move out there by number 12, the quarterback Muzan, and it'll be second down and 10. We're just underway here in Tiger Stadium. Doucette to the right, Bo to the left, I formation to the backfield. And Russell goes under center. Ole Miss loads up the box. And Russell has changed the play. Now goes back under center. Changes it again. And goes back under center. Hands the ball away, and this is Vincent. No gain. Matter of fact, he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. And it'll be third down and 11 as Russell checked off into a running play, and that has not worked a whole lot for LSU this year when he checks off into a running play. Samford and Cornell combined to make the stop for Ole Miss. Third down and 10. The Tigers have not gained an inch.
Jim, you get the sense after only 2 plays that Ole Miss has come to play. Now, sometimes that's false intensity, and it doesn't last very long, but so far, they are the ones who have dominated the line of scrimmage these first 2 plays.
Tigers have 3 receivers left and 1 right in the shotgun. Russell waits for the snap. They only rush 3, and Russell can't find anybody to throw to. Scrambles to the right, throws it way downfield, and there's a man wide open, but its ball is out of bounds. He was wide open down there. That was Brandon LaFell, and Russell threw it out of bounds. And for the first time, I believe, this year, at home on the first offensive series, LSU goes 3 and out.
And, Jim, you know, when the other team comes in your house and they're prepared to play and you let them have success on the first series, as LSU allowed Ole Miss to control and dictate that tempo, it doesn't bode well, at least for the near future. You've got to really regain the momentum, but LSU will be punting right now.
Well, Ole Miss has jumped off sides as Chris Jackson was standing back around the 5-yard line. You're right. As a matter of fact, that is as flat as I've seen the LSU offense open a game this year. Jackson...
5 in the defense, entered the neutral zone, made contact with the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Jackson has punted 27 times, averaging 42.3 yards per kick. Back deep to receive is Green, number 21 for Ole Miss. LSU went 3 and out. Jackson standing at the 10-yard line, waiting on the snap, and there it is. And he gets it away, and it is a beauty. All the way back down to the 32-yard line, taken in there, and that's it. He's down at the 30. Fine defensive work for LSU. It was Jacob Cotrera down who made the stop. 43-yard punt and no return. And let's see if the LSU defense now can get a little spark going for LSU as the offense unable to do anything in the first series. Bell South is a proud supporter of college athletics. Go Tigers. Bell South listening, answering. Ole Miss's offense has had less than 290 total yards of offense in 7 of the 10 games that they have played this year. Is there a timeout? Yes. Timeout of the ball game. 12:50 to play in the first quarter. No score on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hey, Tiger fans, show your Tiger pride and keep LSU beautiful on game day. Here are 4 easy ways you can help. Mike likes a clean yard, so be sure to use the LSU trash bags and litter cans. Save our oak trees. Don't park on the roots. Keep our families safe. Leave glass at home. And put your aluminum cans in the LSU recycling bins. LSU is a leader in game day recycling efforts. Let's all work together to keep LSU beautiful. Thanks, Tiger fans.
The Southeastern Conference Education Initiative has impacted more than 2 million elementary and middle school students. Utilizing the SEC mascots, this interactive web-based program teaches math and language, as well as motivates students, improves test scores, and inspires an interest in higher education. Now, in its 5th year, this valuable resource features challenging content enhanced by 3D gameplay graphics. For more information, visit secsports.com or learningthroughsports.com.
All right, Ole Miss will have it for their first offensive series. 1st and 10 at their 31-yard line. Schaefer is the Rebel quarterback, and the Tiger defense out on the field. Schaefer, 100 of 211 for just 47% completion rate. 1,239 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's been intercepted 10 times.
And Ron Willis starting at the left defensive end, Jim. And, you know, my guess is that that's because he's a senior, and so he'll have an opportunity to start in this game. I don't know if he's going to be the guy who goes the whole way there at the left end. That's normally Tyson Jackson is the guy that gets to play there.
He was the defensive lineman of the week last week in the SEC. The Rebs will go with receivers on both sides. The lone running back has been Jarvis Green Ellis. And Schaefer hands him the football, and he plows ahead, pulls tackles with him all the way up to the 36-yard line. The initial contact was at the line of scrimmage, but he barreled ahead for about 5 yards. Green Ellis has 189 carries for 866 yards. That is second in the SEC. He also has scored 6 touchdowns. Ryan Willis, among others, in on the stop. Pittman also was in on the play, but a gain of 6 brings up 2nd down and 4. 2 receivers left for Ole Miss, the far side of the field in an I formation. Schaefer under center. LSU shows a 4-man front. Now Schaefer comes out from under center and has changed the play. Now he is ready. Short drop to throw, and he's going to try to run it, and he breaks 1 tackle and comes up about 2 yards short of a first down on a scramble. Ali Highsmith was there for LSU to make the stop, and it'll bring up 3rd down, as the Tigers disallowed him being able to throw the football, and he gained about 2 yards. 3rd down and 3. Ole Miss is only 28% on 3rd down conversions. That is the worst in the SEC, and it's 3rd and 3. No score in the ballgame. LSU went 3 and out the opening possession. Ole Miss is 3rd down and 3 on their possession. 2 receivers on the left side, I formation. Schaefer under center, and he hands it away to Ben Jarvis. He does not get there. Glenn Ellis does not get the first down, I don't believe. Looks to me like he's going to be about a yard short at about the 40-yard line.
Looks like he was going to get it, and then he got stacked up right at the 40-yard line, and as he tried to lean forward for additional yardage, got pulled back as the LSU pursuit arrived. So not a flashy defensive series, but one that was workmanlike. Ole Miss is going to have to punt it away. They've got about a yard to go for the first down.
And it'll be Rob Park back to punt it away, and Buster Davis is in to receive. Park 48 punts, averaging 39, and it is a fake, and they got the first down. It is a fake punt. They caught LSU off guard, and they got the first down on the carry up to the 45-yard line. Let's go to Jordy.
Well, they really didn't catch LSU off guard because LSU didn't change their defense. They kept their starters on their regular 1st, 2nd, 3rd down possession in the game, specifically thinking that Ole Miss would fake it. Ole Miss just executed very well. Misdirection play, picked up the first down.
1st and 10 Ole Miss at the 43-yard line. In Rebel territory. No score in the ball game. Receivers on both sides. Glenn Ellis is the running back out of the I formation. Schaefer under center. Play action fake. Rolls to the left. And he throws, and it is incomplete. He threw it out of bounds down around the LSU 43-yard line on the far side of the field in the direction of number 2, and that is Mike Wallace. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Schaefer rolling out to get him away from the LSU rush, and he threw the ball actually in the perfect spot. It looked like Wallace made the catch, but he had stepped out of bounds or was on the boundary itself. when he made the catch, but the pass was pinpoint perfect, right where Wallace needed it to make the reception.
Second down and 10. Two receivers on the right side. A man in the slot on the near side. Green Ellis, the lone running back, and Schaefer goes under center. Short drop to throw. He throws incomplete at the 40-yard line and in the direction of Wallace, and he threw it into the ground. So it will bring up third down and 10. Here is this week's question on Ask the Announcer, presented by the Hilton Capital Center in downtown Baton Rouge, from Bob Cotton of Houston, Texas. Listen to this, Doug. How many times a year has LSU gone undefeated at home during a football season? Log on to www.lsusports.net to submit your questions and be eligible to win a one-night stay at the Hilton Baton Rouge Capital Center. Hadn't been many times, I can tell you that.
I don't know. Do you know the answer?
Last time was not long ago. Three receivers on the left side, one on the right, shotgun formation. Schaefer with the ball, rolling to the right side, wants to throw. He is going to be hit as he throws, but it is caught for a first down at the LSU 39-yard line. Mike Wallace made the catch, and that was a terrific throw. And it will be first and 10 for Ole Miss in LSU territory.
Once again, Schaefer, who's a left-hander, rolled out to the left, and he was hit just as he released the football and clocked pretty good, but he threw the ball perfectly down the middle of the field to Wallace, who made the reception to pick up the first down, the second first down for Ole Miss in this possession.
19 yards on that play, and LSU needs to push the starter button here tonight, offensively and defensively. Two receivers on the right side. Split back formation. Green Ellis is the running back. Schaefer sends a man in motion and tosses it out to Green Ellis, trying to come to the near side, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And he's pushed all the way back to midfield and never does actually go down. He ran into Tyson Jackson and a couple of other Tiger defenders, and it'll be second down.
That was a good job by Luke Sanders, who was lined up at the left side linebacker. It was a sweep designed to come his way around the right side. He got upfield, took on the blocker, and forced the play back inside where all the pursuit was coming from. That's exactly the way an outside linebacker should make that play, and he did it to perfection.
Second down and 10. 9:05 to play in the scoreless first quarter. Two receivers on the left side in an I formation. Ole Miss at the LSU 39-yard line. Schaefer back to throw, gets a good block, and he does throw, and it is incomplete. Fine defensive play by Chevis Jackson down at the LSU 29-yard line as the ball was thrown in the direction of Hodge, and it'll bring up third down and 10.
Once again, an outstanding pass, though, by Brent Schaefer. He dropped back, threw it to the outside. Chevis Jackson dove through the air, batted it down with his left hand just as it was ready to arrive for Hodges' reception to put Ole Miss with another third and long, third and 10 at the LSU 39-yard line.
They are the worst in the league at converting third downs, but they've done it twice in this series. Out of the shotgun, two receivers left and one right. Schaefer waiting on the ball, drops back in the pocket and has time now. He's chased out of the pocket, rolls to the far side. He is going to try to run, and he did not get back to the line of scrimmage. He was called over on the far side defensively by LSU's Charles Alexander, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's a tremendous job in the open field by Alexander. Schaefer's a quick guy. He dropped back, had a heavy rush. Chase Pittman missed him. He stepped out around to the left and tried to juke Charles Alexander in the open field, who's a big defensive tackle. Alexander stayed with him, grabbed him by the legs, brought him to the turf for about a 2.5-yard loss, and it's fourth, and Ole Miss will punt, or at least they are in punt formation.
Yep, this time I think they will punt it. It's fourth down and 12. Buster Davis standing back around the 11-yard line. Here is Park, and he has a nice wobbly spiral. He aims it for the corner, and he did a great job. It went out of bounds at the 5-yard line. That is absolutely a perfect punt. 35 yards. He kicked it away from Buster Davis, angled it towards the near sidelines, and it went out of bounds and pinned LSU back at their 5-yard line. And so that's where the Tigers will start on their second offensive series of the game. Timeout, 7:58 to go. There's no score in the first quarter on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference represents the best at intercollegiate athletics. Last year, the SEC produced 6 national champions and finished in the Final Four in 14 of 20 sports finishes, while sending 159 league teams to postseason competition. In addition, 460 SEC student-athletes earned first-team All-America honors, and 71 young men and women were crowned individual national champions. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. The ultimate source for SEC merchandise online is SECstore.com. With more than 6,000 items, this exciting superstore features the best selection of conference and school apparel and collectibles. Authentic SEC Champions locker room caps and t-shirts are available online exclusively at SECstore.com, along with specially designed products for ladies and children. Be sure to check out the weekly promotions and the best selection of SEC merchandise on the World Wide Web at SECstore.com.
7:58 to go in the first quarter. No score. LSU will have it for their second offensive series, and they will start this time at the 5-yard line. I believe, Doug, on that question, and we don't have it's in the stats there. It's in the LSU release. Tigers have only won all their games at home about, I think, 4 times in recent years. They did it, I think, it was in 2004, I believe. They won all their games at home, and that was the first time since 1972. There's the answer to our Hilton Capital Center question. Tiger fans need to know that law enforcement agencies are cracking down on drunk drivers, and they're using random DWI checkpoints to help get the job done. DWI checkpoints are popping up everywhere, so if you're drinking, let someone who's not drinking do the driving, because if you do drink and drive, you're going to jail. A message from the Tiger Athletics and the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission. All right, 1st and 10 LSU at their 5. Justin Vincent will line up at running back, and Jamarcus Russell at quarterback. Jacob Hester is also in there in an I formation and a lone receiver on the right side. Now here is Dixon moving over to the right side, and Russell goes under center as Ole Miss loads up in the box. And the handoff is to Vincent, and Vincent trying hard, pushes up to about the 10-yard line.
Patrick Willis met him right in the hole. LSU actually had blocked a very, very good hole, and Willis, the middle linebacker, stepped over right into it and stepped up and just straightened up Justin Vincent, who was getting ready to explode through the hole. It turned out to be about a 5-yard gain anyway, but it was blocked better than that. I mean, there was a gaping hole in the middle. Patrick Willis with a very fine tackle to hold it to a 5-yard gain.
Bo, the lone receiver, off to the right side. I formation on 2nd down and 5. Russell under center at the LSU 10-yard line. Toss to Vincent, trying to turn the corner on the far side, needs a block and gets it, and he gets the first down and more across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. Nice going for the Tigers senior Justin Vincent. He got a clearing block on the offensive right side before Sanford, the strong side linebacker, came up and made the stop. That was Hester who made the good block for him over there.
A pitch around the right side to Justin Vincent. Hester was out leading it, as well as, and get this, Brett Helms, the center. After the snap, Helms pulled around the right side, and he and Hester were going shoulder to shoulder, blocked the Ole Miss defensive front and the secondary to get LSU up to the 29-yard line for a first down.
First down of the game for LSU. 2 receivers left and 1 right, and here is a handoff again to Vincent, coming to the near side, and he is in trouble this time and goes down after a yard gain at about the 30-yard line. Boy, Ole Miss had that one perfectly pursued. They had 5 guys running full speed ahead.
Well, that number 49,
there was no way to get around the corner.
That number 49 and there, Willis, is there all the time, and when he is the first one to make contact, he almost always wins that battle. The running backs, after they're contacted by him, are going backwards.
2nd down and 9. Maybe closer to 8. 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left, and Russell sets up in the shotgun. Ole Miss has 5 at the line of scrimmage, and here they come. There's a pass. It is caught by Buster Davis, and he's got a Tiger first down up at the 43-yard line. Good job as Russell got rid of the ball very quickly. McBride and Johnson combined to make the stop, but LSU has moved from their 5 out to their 43-yard line.
Good job by Jamarcus Russell to go to his second receiver. He looked downfield towards the safety and then couldn't find the receiver who first was the priority, turned back to the left, saw Buster Davis on a square end pattern, hit him for the first down.
45th catch of the year for Buster Davis. He has 3 touchdowns. Receivers on both sides, play action fake. Russell drops back deep in the pocket. Now he scrambles and he throws, and oh my goodness, he had Dwayne Bowe wide open, but he threw it about 15 yards over his head. Incomplete down around the 35-yard line. That one just got away from him.
Play action fake, and he was rushed heavily from the defensive right, his left. He rolled back out of it. Very, very nice move that he made. And as he was running to the left, tried to flick the ball to Bo, who was wide open, and his arm is so strong. Yeah. He just overthrew
him 15 yards.
An awful lot. That's a tough pass to throw anyway, and usually he throws it more accurately than that. That was not a good one, but a nice move by him to keep from being sacked.
2nd and 10, 5:24 to go, no score in the first quarter. Lone receiver on the right side, the wedge formation on the left. Lone running back, Russell under center. Tosses the ball out. Now this is a reverse, and this is on the play. On reverse, Trendon Holiday, and that was a funny-looking thing there.
Well, it was a pitch to the left. Holiday came in, lined up at tailback. The ball was pitched to him going to the left. He took 3 steps, stopped, reversed, going back to the right. Ole Miss was not particularly fooled, but Holiday found a little crease in there, picked up 2 or 3 yards instead of sustaining a loss.
3rd down and 7. Yeah,
he's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch, but he apparently had no intentions of coming this way. It was designed to do that. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. Hester is back there, along with Russell. Clock running. 4:42 to play. Scoreless first quarter. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. Russell will run it, but he's not going to get the first down. And goes down at the 50-yard line. And so the Tigers will have to punt it away. And for whatever reason, tonight, Russell simply cannot find anybody to throw to. And I guess the main reason is that Ole Miss is doing a terrific job of covering the receivers.
And Ole Miss is doing a very good job also breaking down the pass protection. Russell's just not having time to look downfield the way that he's become accustomed to. LSU probably will end up, until they get that straightened out, having to go to some play action and some bootleg type things to get him out of the pocket where he's a sitting duck for the rush.
Chris Jackson will have to punt it away again, this time standing at the 35-yard line. And there is the punt. It's not a very pretty looking punt. Comes down and is inside the 25 and will roll dead at about the 23-yard line. That's only a 27-yard punt. Wasn't much to that. But that's where Ole Miss will take over. 1st and 10 at their 27-yard line, as Tiger offense that has been so high-powered at home, and particularly in the first quarter this year, has stumbled out of the gate here tonight. Time out of the ball game. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. No score on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
You like to win a pair of 2007 LSU season tickets? Well, just log on to AbitaSprings.com and register. No purchase required. Winner will be chosen by drawing at the end of the 2006 season. And here's another way to win. Redeem any Tiger water label when you order great-tasting, healthful Abita Springs water and get a case of convenient Go Anywhere half-liter or 12-ounce bottles free delivered to your door by the Abita Man. Visit AbitaSprings.com today.
Cox Sports Television brings you a new look this football season with all the same great teams our fans expect. The LSU Tigers return with conference games against Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee. And CST has all 12 full game replays Sundays and Wednesdays at 7. Saturdays, it's live college games throughout the day, plus the award-winning highlight show CST Tonight at 10 p.m. Check local cable providers for specific CST channels or visit CoxSportsTV.com. Catch the Tigers at big-time college football this fall on CST.
3:45 to play. Scoreless first quarter. Ole Miss gets it for the second time, and they will start this time at their 23-yard line. They started at their 30 earlier. And, Doug, I think this is a little bit surprising to a lot of people that LSU has not been able to score at this point in the ballgame. But Ole Miss is playing as well as they can play, and LSU may have a little case of the nonchalance here tonight because of the situation, but I expect that to get fixed pretty quick.
Well, at least they got out from behind the goal line, though. I mean, being down the 5-yard line, had they punted from there, the ball would be up around midfield. So the couple of first downs LSU made were exactly what they needed to do, and now they've gotten the ball pretty deep in Ole Miss territory, and they're going to force them to start at their own 23-yard line.
And here come the Rebs up to the line of scrimmage, moving from left to right. And that is north to south. Receivers on both sides. Green Ellis is the lone running back. A man goes in motion to the far side. He is handed the ball and trying to go around the far corner. He is chased down by the Tigers, though, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it on the far side of the field. Ollie Highsmith was over there. Ryan Willis was over there. Also, Chase Pittman was over there. And a nice job of chasing down the ball carrier, but I think I see a flag on the field.
Michael McSwain is the one that took the handoff. He was a wingback set up on the right side, ran parallel behind the line of scrimmage, took the handoff on a sweep around left end, but very, very well defensed by LSU, and the penalty appears to be also against
Ole Miss. It's a holding called against Ole Miss. The tackle was made at the 25-yard line after a gain of 2, but that will be denied, and the penalty will be stepped off. Let's listen.
Block in the back. Offense, 74. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Michael Orr, so a block in the back, not a holding, but it moves the ball back to the 15-yard line. And it'll be first down and 23. Well, first down and 20, I beg your pardon. Or thereabouts. They've got to get up to the 33-yard line, and it's at the 15, so it's about a first down and 18. 2 receivers on the right side. Lone running back, Schaefer under center. Sends a man in motion and hands it off on the delay, and to about the 17 or 18-yard line goes Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Now, it's not Ben Green or Jarvis Ellis. It's Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. It's one of those guys that's got 4 first names. And he gets about 2 on the carry. It'll be second down and around 16. Cotrera was in on the stop for LSU, and several other Tigers.
Well, you know, that first name, though, is just one name.
Yeah, I know.
It is Benjarvus. The last name is hyphenated. I don't know if that means that he got married and he kept his maiden name, or exactly why he uses that. Like Gordon Ely Kelso.
Yeah. 2:24 and ticking in the first quarter, no score. Shotgun formation for Ole Miss. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Schaefer with the ball gives a shovel pass and breaking it for big yardage up to the 25 to the 30. They're going to get the first down as the Tigers could not stop Green Ellis. And Ole Miss has converted again on second and long, and they have a first down up at the LSU 30. They say he stepped out of bounds around the 37-yard line. LaRon Landry is the one, I believe, who knocked him out of bounds.
That's that shovel pass, the Utah pass, where Schaefer dropped back. Green Ellis came from the left, going to his right, and had the ball pitched about 5 yards in front of him, cut up the middle of the field, then back to the left to pick up the first down.
At the 37, 2 receivers on the right side. Schaefer under center. Play action fake. He'll roll to the far side, and there's nobody over there, and he will run out of bounds all the way up to the 42-yard line. I mean, nobody, can I tell you? Nobody was over there when he headed in that direction.
Well, the run fake is what made that work, as he faked a pitch to the right, going around the right side. Luke Sanders was the linebacker on the right end. Remember, I told you a while ago he played perfectly the sweep to his side. That time he played it imperfectly, the sweep to the other side. He's supposed to contain that quarterback. He let him get outside for a 5-yard gain.
Second and 5, 2 receivers right out of the I formation. And then Schaefer has changed the play, comes out from under center. Now it goes back under center, short drop to throw. He does, and it is incomplete, but the Tigers were very, very lucky there, because LSU's defensive backs had backed way down the field, and Hodge was wide open at the LSU 45, and the pass was just underthrown a little bit.
Hodge ran a little post pattern in front of Zenon, and Zenon looked like he wasn't trying to cover him, like he thought someone else was supposed to pick him up. He backed up, thinking someone was going to pick him up short. The ball was thrown a little to the inside, and Hodge could not get to it, so it's third down and 5.
2 receivers right and 1 left out of the shotgun. Schaefer looks and throws across the way. It is caught, but short of the first down. As a matter of fact, he did not get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Wallace who made the catch. Ollie Highsmith was over there to make the stop, and it looks like Ole Miss will have to punt the ball away. However, they faked successfully a punt earlier.
Chevis Jackson came up there, made the contact first, was not able to wrap the tackle up all the way, but Ollie Highsmith came over and finished it off to hold it for a no gain and a 4th and 5 situation.
This will be the 4th punt of the first quarter. Park standing back around the Ole Miss 28. Buster Davis at the LSU 17. Clock is running with 1:20 to play in the first quarter. There's the snap. And he's going to throw the ball, and it is caught. Oh, it's dropped. It is dropped on fourth down. LSU will get it at the Ole Miss 38-yard line.
LSU once again prepared for that. Ole Miss used a pass play as the punter started running to the right, as he did the last time when he actually kicked the ball. He turned back, threw the ball to the left side. LSU had it well covered. I believe that it was Hester or Stelz over there played the ball just perfectly. The receiver got flustered, actually, by LSU's coverage of the play and dropped the ball, just juggled it, and it dropped to the ground.
The receiver, I believe, was Zach Craig. No, it was Bruce Hall, number 23, Bruce Hall, I believe. 1st and 10, LSU at the Ole Miss 42-yard line. Receivers on both sides and a lone running back. Russell gives the ball away to Vincent, and Vincent gets hard yardage inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. He is the only running back that LSU has used thus far in the ballgame. As he went over the offensive right side, and nice gain on first down.
Jim, I like that when you let a running back play a few series consecutively and see if he can get in the flow of the game. And maybe the LSU's coaches have decided, rather than shift backs in play after play, that's what they'll try to do this game.
Receivers on both sides. Vincent, the lone running back. Russell may have changed the play again, goes under center, tosses it again back to Vincent, and Vincent puts his head down, and it's very close to the first down. May have gotten it, I believe he did, down around the 31-yard line, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. So it has been a scoreless first quarter here in Tiger Stadium. We'll go to the second, and we'll be right back after these messages on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Can I find a doctor who agrees that watching the Tigers counts as cardio?
At Auctioner, you can. We're the official healthcare sponsor of LSU Athletics and a proud supporter of the community. We can care for your every need, routine or more serious, in one of our 30 friendly, convenient locations in Southeast Louisiana. At Auctioner, healthcare with peace of mind can be yours. To find out how, call 1-866-AUCTIONER or visit auctioner.org.
Good things come in threes. Triple fortune. Triple fortune.
Play Triple Fortune, the new $2 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $12,000. Over $129,000 doubled and triple prizes. Stop and ask for Triple Fortune today.
Scratch it, you can see what your fortune will be. Good things come in threes.
Must be at least 21 to purchase.
I knew he'd come in handy someday.
Mom.
Here's a true story about true savings from State Farm.
I never knew his good grades could get us a discount on car insurance.
I never knew our son could get good grades.
Our State Farm agent always looks for ways we can save money.
Like with the good student discount.
Dad, if you get me a car, we could get another discount.
Nice try.
Find a State Farm agent today in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South or visit statefarm.com.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
There is no score in this one as we start the second quarter. LSU is 1st and 10 at the Ole Miss 31-yard line. Here are the Dodge first quarter stats. Get somewhere, grab live by the horns. Dodge, both teams have 3 first downs. LSU has 56 total yards and Ole Miss 55 in the first quarter. Tigers ran for 43, passed for 13. Ole Miss ran for 17 and passed for 38. So a little bit of a surprise, the outcome of the first quarter, but there's a lot of football to be played. Bell South is a proud supporter of college athletics. Go Tigers. Bell South listening, answering. I believe that was Richard Dixon, the tight end, who was injured a moment ago as we left at the end of the first quarter. He has come off the field of play, and I think he's going to be okay. 3 receivers on the right side and 1 left. Shotgun formation. Justin Vincent is back there with Jamarcus Russell. Ole Miss loads up the box. They've got 5 in there. And there's the snap, and here they come. Russell fakes, and he throws. He's got Buster Davis wide open. He's got it at the 8-yard line. First and goal to go for LSU. A tremendous strike from the strong arm of Jamarcus Russell, and Buster cradled it in, and it's first and goal to go. Charles Clark made the touchdown-saving stop.
Russell, after the snap, first he looked to the right short, then looked back to the left, did not see an open receiver, looked back to the right, and he saw Buster Davis right in the seam and fired the ball in there. A nice catch by Davis. He was ready to be hit, but he went ahead and made the reception.
Lone receiver on the left side, now an I formation with Jordan and Vincent. First and goal to go at the Ole Miss 8-yard line. Russell under center. Gives it to Vincent. Comes to the near side. Tries to turn the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds at about, I would say, the 3-yard line on the near side of the field, and that's exactly where they put it down. Willis all over the place. That's why he's all SEC. That's why he's going to be playing on Sunday. Over to make the stop. Second and goal for the Tigers at the Ole Miss 3. LSU trying to punch it into the south end zone. Ball is at the hash marks near side of the field as LSU is in the Louisiana Economic Development red zone. Split back formation. Vincent, the running back, he is handed the ball, and he is at the goal line, but he goes down at the 1-yard line. However, there is a flag on the play, and that's not a good time for a flag to come out. That'll be a hold against LSU.
LSU with 3 tight ends in the game. Mitt Cole, remember Richard Dixon went out with an injury just a minute ago. Doug Blanchard and Andrew Wright, all 3 of them with a 2 tight end set, and then one of the tight ends was set up on a wing. But there's going to be a hold there, and it'll push the ball back.
Offense, 74. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's Brett Helms, the Tiger center. So that moves the ball now all the way back to the 13-yard line.
And LSU goes in with replacing those tight ends with wide receivers. Dwayne Bowe, Brandon LaFell.
Second down and goal for the Tigers at the Ole Miss 13-yard line.
And early Doucette.
Bowe and Doucette will flank out to the left side. LaFell and Davis on the right side. Shotgun formation. Hester is back there with Russell, who drops and looks. He scrambles and he throws badly over Hester at the 5. That was going nowhere anyhow. Tigers had 2 receivers or 3 receivers down in the end zone, and Russell could not find them. He has really had a difficult time finding receivers tonight. Ole Miss must be playing just terrific defense in the secondary. And now it is third down and goal at the 13.
And Ole Miss getting a pretty good pass rush there. LSU had 4 wideouts in the game on that play. Buster Davis, Brandon LaFell, early Doucette, and Dwayne Bowe. But couldn't find any of those. Ended up trying to throw it to Hester and threw it wide to him.
3 receivers on the left side out of the shotgun. Here is Davis coming in motion to the near side. Russell drops back. Here comes the big rush. He throws. It is caught for a touchdown. That is Dwayne Bowe, who got open in the end zone.
Dwayne Bowe was split out wide to the right. He ran a post pattern to the inside. And the reason it was open is because Buster Davis had come in motion to place him on the right side. Davis ran down and to the outside, drawing the cornerback out. Bowe ran a post and then sat down right in that hole between the cornerback and safety, and Russell fired the ball in there to him.
Cole David will try to make it 7-0. Matt Flynn will put it down. Snap, place, kick. And Cole David continues to be perfect. 13:55 to play in the first half. LSU leads Ole Miss 7-0 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference is committed to the welfare of all its student athletes. Last year, the SEC distributed more than $2.1 million from the NCAA Special Assistance Fund and the NCAA Student Athlete Opportunity Fund. These programs exist to provide direct financial benefit to student athletes competing in all 20 SEC-sponsored sports. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. During the past 74 years, the Southeastern Conference has established the most outstanding college football tradition in the country. The 12-member institutions have combined for an unprecedented 343 bowl appearances. Key to the success of SEC football is support of the many loyal fans who have helped the conference lead the nation in total attendance for 25 consecutive years. The SEC salutes the more than 6 million fans who will attend a game at an SEC stadium this year.
Before we give you the scoring drive, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. All right, here's the U.S. Agency scoring drive stats. U.S. Agency's low-cost auto insurance. The Tigers went 42 yards in 6 plays. And the scoring play was 13-yard pass from Russell to Bo. They used 2:17 off the clock. And with that pass, that's 21 now for Russell and Bo as a combination. They have tied Tommy Hodson and Wendell Davis. And also, that is the 24th career touchdown reception for Bo. He's now in the top 10 in his career in the SEC and is the all-time LSU leader. Also, Allstate will have to kick in each time the Tigers kick a field goal or extra point. Allstate will donate to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Allstate, you're in good hands. Chris Jackson will kick it away. And standing back deep for Ole Miss. There's a kick into the end zone, drop, and he will take a knee. And so Ole Miss will start at their 20-yard line. That was Derek Davis. He was back there with Miche Green, and Davis took the knee. And so LSU leading 7-0 will go on the defense as Ole Miss will start at their 20-yard line.
And offside, Jim, on the kickoff, officials signaling it. I think under the new rule, I think you can have it assessed after where the ball is
Kicking
set.
team, 43.
And
5-yard penalty. Replay the kickoff.
Well, you don't see that very often.
Yeah. I think they could have taken the 5 yards to move the ball to the 25 or made LSU kick again after a 5-yard penalty and chose to do that.
All right, so now Chris Jackson will kick it away from the 30-yard line. I think it's the first time this year that, the first time I can remember, as a matter of fact, an offsides on a kickoff. And let's see how costly, if any, that is for LSU. 7-0, the Tigers lead. 13:48 to go in the first half here in Tiger Stadium, the final home game. Derek Davis and Miche Green back deep for the Rebs. The kickoff coming. This one is going to come up way short and will be fielded at about the 13, 15, 20. Look out, 35, still going, and he's got a route. He's going to have to be run down by Chris Jackson. He is at the 40, and Jackson gets him at the LSU 35-yard line. That is how crucial and critical that mistake was. A 45-yard penalty, I guess. That's what it cost LSU. As Ole Miss would have had it at their 20, because of the offsides, they've got it at the LSU 35-yard line.
34-yard line.
34.
46-yard penalty.
Okay, so that's how costly it was.
Absolutely. That's what, the penalty, you say, well, it's only 5 yards. No, it's not 5 yards. It's 46 yards is what that cost as Ole Miss sets up first down at the 34. LSU had yanked the momentum of this game back away from Ole Miss, and they've just given it back.
Ole Miss got it right back. 2 receivers on the left side, split back formation, play action fake. Schaefer rolling to the near side. He is being chased down by Landry at the 35-yard line. That was a naked reverse for Schaefer, and Landry was not fooled.
What a nice job Landry did. Schaefer got hit in the helmet by his running back as he went by to make the running fake. The back raised his elbow up so that Schaefer could get by him and hit Schaefer in the face. Of course, he's got a face mask and a visor there, so it didn't hurt him, but it knocked his head back. Then he rolled out to the left. LaRon Landry had him in the open field and just wouldn't take any of the fakes. Finally brought him down for no gain.
2 receivers on the right side. I formation in the backfield. Schaefer under center. Hands the ball away and breaking one tackle and then another. And all the way down to the LSU 28-yard line on the carry is Bruce Hall, number 23. And so it will bring up third down as Ollie Highsmith was over there for LSU to make the initial contact, and then he had help from several others, including Leo DeSalle, who's in the ballgame. So it is 3rd down and 4, and a pretty important play here in the first half. Ball at the LSU 28-yard line. Clock running, coming up on the 12-minute mark. LSU leading 7-0. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. Green Ellis is back there with Shaver, and Ole Miss will call a timeout. Timeout of the ball game, 11:53 to go in the half. LSU 7, Ole Miss nothing. We'll be back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The The Southeastern Conference will return to the Georgia Dome for the 2006 SEC Football Championship game. This event began in 1992 when the SEC became the first conference in college football history to establish a title game. You can be a part of this exciting event as festivities begin December 1st and culminate with the 2006 championship game December 2nd in Atlanta. Don't miss the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare, the Hyatt Regency Atlanta Coaches Luncheon, and the SEC Legends Dinner presented by Singular as the SEC celebrates the tradition of the football championship game. The Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare is the place to experience the fun and excitement of the SEC Football Championship game. Enjoy a great meal at the Timeout Grill and support your favorite team at the SEC Championship Superstore at this year's Fanfare. You don't want to miss favorite attractions like the Press Box Stage, the SEC TV Experience, and the Celebrity Quarterback Challenge. Located in Hall C of the World Congress Center, Fanfare is just a short walk from the Georgia Dome. Be a part of the SEC Championship Experience at the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare.
11:53 to play, first half, 7-0 LSU, but Ole Miss is 3rd and 4 at the LSU 28-yard line. Here is the Bell South Yellow Pages trivia of the game. Richard Burgess answered last week's question correctly. How many LSU football coaches have had seasons where they have won 10 or more games? The answer is 6. Edgar Wingard had 1, Paul Dietzel 2, Mike Archer, Jared DiNardo, Nick Saban had a couple, and Les Miles. Now this week's question is, who is LSU's all-time sack leader? Email your responses to and personal information to trivia@lsu.edu, and a lucky winner will receive a prize pack from Bell South Yellow Pages. When you need information, there is only one place to turn, the real Yellow Pages and yellowpages.com from Bell South. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Napa Auto Parts, a proud sponsor. The LSU Sports Radio Network, Dodge. Grab Life by the Horns, Jeep. Isn't it time you got up close and personal with nature? And Chrysler, inspiration comes standard. 7-0 Tigers, but a big play here, Doug, I would think, early in this ball game, although we're in the second quarter. Tiger defense needs to stop here.
LSU had fought the whole game, Jim, to put themselves in it and take control of it, and they gave it away.
All right, here's a quick snap and a handoff, and plowing down for the first down. That is Green Ellis. They caught the Tigers in a quick snap. I do not believe that the LSU defense was completely set, and on a quick snap, they handed it to Green Ellis. He went over the offensive right side, and from here, he did. He got the first down.
Well, the Tigers just not being very aggressive defensively right now. They were on the previous defensive series before the LSU possession that led to the touchdown, but got knocked back on their heels with that kickoff return and haven't recovered yet.
2 receivers on the left, split back formation, 1st and 10 at the LSU 23-yard line. Schaefer under center, toss sweep coming to the near side. He cuts it back up the middle and is down to the LSU 20-yard line. Green Ellis, and they are having very good success running against LSU. Ali Highsmith was there to make the stop, but that is a good gain on first down. And Ole Miss, man, what a punishing penalty that was for LSU. Offsides on a kickoff. And it has given Ole Miss an opportunity to come back and tie this ball game. 2 receivers split right. I formation in the backfield. Green Ellis is the running back. Schaefer under center. 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. And he fell down. Schaefer got the ball, tried to hand it off to Green Ellis, and he tripped, I think, over his own feet. He may have got tangled up with the center, but from here, it looked like he just fell down backwards. Let's go down to Jordy. We hadn't heard from him all night. Are you there, my friend?
You were accurate. He tripped over his own feet on that play. Never lost control of the ball, but stumbled down and lost a few.
All right, well, that is in LSU's favor, and it is 3rd down now and about 9 at the 22-yard line. 10-15, clock running in the first half, 7-0 LSU leading, but Ole Miss is threatening. They'll line up in a shotgun with 3 receivers on the right side. There's a snap. Schaefer drops to throw. He's being chased. He throws screen. It's going to be for a big play. That's going to be a touchdown, I think. And it is. That is perfectly executed, and that was, again, Bruce Hall. And LSU, I guess, just simply did not see that at all, because it was set up on the near side of the field, and he went untouched into the end zone.
Ole Miss put 3 wide receivers on the right side. On the left side, all they had was a tight end. and they ran a screen back to that tight end side. LSU in the secondary had moved everybody over to cover those receivers on the far side of the field, and when the screen pass was pitched this way, all they needed was one block to get the corner. They got it, completed the pass, sprinted into the end zone for the score, and the crowd is somewhat stunned, I think, rightfully so, because 9:55 remaining in the second quarter. Ole Miss has scored, and with the extra point, they'll knot it at 7.
Now we're in a little holding pattern here because LSU has somebody down. That's Jesse Daniels, who is down out of bounds around the 15-yard line on the near side of the field. Let's go down to Jordy. Give us an update, Jordy.
They're looking down at his right leg, Jesse, in severe pain on this, and they're looking at his right, inside the right knee. Shelly Mullenix and Jack Marucci, two of the trainers, taking a look at it. They're trying to get him up now on his own feet, and they are, and we'll get you an update on him. But, boy, he is writhing in pain as we speak.
All right, Jordy, thank you very much. Well, we'll hope that he's going to be okay as Ole Miss has a chance to tie this game. And I believe if that happens, it'll be the first time LSU has been tied in a game at home this year. Sheen to try to kick it through. Waiting on the snap. There's the kick. And it's good. And Ole Miss has tied the score. Or wait, let's see. Is there a flag on the play? There is. Oh, no. He's just saying, the official is just saying a timeout. Well, the LSU team was looking at him like, no, there is a flag down back there. Hang on. There is a flag down back around the 3-yard line. So before we go to break, let's see what that is all about. Although both teams have gone to the sidelines, there's a flag at the 3-yard line, and the officials are talking about it. So, guys, let's let's wait and see what the official says here. Personal foul against LSU. Well, the Tigers, that's another really bad mistake. And that will be assessed on the kickoff. We'll take the break. 9:55 to go. In the first half, we're tied at 7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Go Tigers, go forward. Louisiana Economic Development is moving our state forward with business-friendly incentives and support programs for aggressive companies throughout Louisiana. To learn more, visit louisianaforward.com/roll today.
Looking for a new truck? Here's the case for the 2007 Chevy Silverado Classic. Now it's backed by the GM 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty. Whichever comes first. See dealer for details. Case closed. Chevy Silverado. Power meets protection. That's an American revolution. See your Super Chevy dealer today.
Go Tigers, go forward. Louisiana Economic Development is moving our state forward with business-friendly incentives and support programs for aggressive companies throughout Louisiana. To learn more, visit louisianaforward.com/roll today.
Well, Ole Miss went 34 yards in 6 plays. And they used 336. The touchdown was a 22-yard pass to Hall, and that was only his 5th catch of the entire year. But it caught the LSU defense completely off guard. And then to make matters worse, LSU commits a personal foul on the point-after attempt, and so Ole Miss can kick off at midfield, and they can try to do a lot of things here.
Yeah, try to kick an onside kick.
An onside kick. LSU got burnt with that last week. They could try an onside kick. They could try to pop it up. I doubt if he tries to kick it out of the back of the end zone, but we'll see. LSU's got Trendon Holiday and Early Doucette back deep. And it's an onside try, and it is up for grabs. And Ole Miss has got it. LSU got beat on an onside kick again. My goodness. And Ole Miss has it 1st and 10 at the LSU 39-yard line.
I think Ole Miss touched the ball before it went 10 yards. Now, whether the officials saw that or
obviously they didn't. So.
It was a perfect result, but it seemed like the ball was helped along to get to the 10 yards by Ole Miss. Perfect kick. The Ole Miss guy kicked the ball. It had not gone 10 yards, and it hit the leg of an Ole Miss player before in that propelled the ball forward beyond the 40-yard line, which was the 10 yards that they needed before they could touch the football. So whether this is going to be reviewed or not, I don't know.
Well, I guess they're not. It's 1st and 10, Ole Miss at the LSU 39-yard line. Well, Ole Miss has all the momentum in the world. Now then, I think LSU has requested a review.
Les Miles is called. There you go.
Okay, well,
that's a good call.
It's a good call. LSU has not won a single review this year. Did we get one reverse last? All right, let's go down to Jordy. He's got a medical update for us.
Yeah, Jesse Daniels. You remember, this is the first game back since he's had that knee problem. It's the same knee. It's a tendon on the inside of the knee. He said he felt something pop a little bit. They've got ice on it right now. They will evaluate him at halftime. Until that time, he will sit out, and we'll see if he gets back at all tonight.
Well, I certainly hope that he's okay. He is very, very important to LSU. But in the meantime, the Tigers have got a little problem. They have got their hands full. This Ole Miss team has now, Doug, at this point in the ballgame, believes they can win this game. They've had great success against LSU. This is the first time at home that LSU has been in this situation. They are tied with 9:48 to go in the first half, and Ole Miss apparently executed an onside kick following a personal foul penalty called against LSU on the try for the point after. And the touchdown came after LSU was offsides on the kickoff following the Tigers' go-ahead touchdown. The ensuing kickoff after the penalty was assessed gave Ole Miss ran it back to the Tigers' 34-yard line. So two mistakes that the Tigers have made have led to a tying touchdown and possibly a 1st and 10 at their 39-yard line with the recovery of an onside kick.
Jim, it's going to be interesting to see how the officials deal with this, because the angle that we saw the replay from was from behind, and you could not tell.
Let's listen.
The play. Video evidence confirms the ruling on the field. Ball was not touched until after it went 10 yards. First down, Ole Miss.
Yep, LSU just doesn't get the benefit of any of that.
See, I disagree with that, but from the angle that the camera was where you could see it hit his leg, it was from behind. Now, this one we might be able to see it. See,
you can't tell. That's non-conclusive. That was just Ole Miss executing an onside kick. And the LSU defense now has got to try to stop the Ole Miss momentum. Two receivers left out of the I formation. Schaefer under center. Crowd trying to help out a little bit. Here's a pass near side. It is caught, and he reverses his field, and he's got room to run on the far side of the field. Got blockers in front of him. He turns the corner and finally goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line on the far side of the play. That's Mike Wallace, far side of the field. And there's a late flag, and if that's another LSU penalty, well, the Tigers are unloading on their own feet here tonight.
There's a quick screen to Wallace to the left side. LSU had it defense. They had it covered. Wallace turned around and ran all the way back across the field. Tyson Jackson was trying to track it down. He was being held, and finally he threw an Ole Miss player. Threw the Ole Miss player out of bounds. They called him for the personal foul.
Actually, they called it on 93. That was Zenon, I believe.
Jackson.
And the foul was called on Tyson Jackson. So, LSU's got to button it up a little bit here. They are really hurting themselves.
Yeah, Jackson was the one who was trying to track the play down. He was being held by an Ole Miss blocker, and he ended up getting frustrated and grabbed his jersey and swung him around, threw him out of bounds. And that's what the officials saw, just the end of it. And that's enough for the penalty. 1st
and 10, Ole Miss at the LSU 19-yard line. Two receivers left out of the I formation. Schaefer under center. The Tigers reeling here with 9:36 to go in the first quarter. Schaefer hands the ball away, and getting up down to about the 17-yard line is Green Ellis. And he is knocked down there by Glenn Dorsey and a couple of others. Second down. LSU scored with 13:55 to go in the second quarter on a 13-yard pass to Bowe. But then a really hurtful offsides on the kickoff gave Ole Miss an opportunity for a great run back. They scored, and two more penalties has given Ole Miss second down and 9 at the LSU 19. Two receivers right, split back formation. And in motion coming to the near side. Schaefer tosses it out. Green Ellis trying to turn the corner, and he does. And he's inside the 10. He's all the way down to the 7-yard line. It'll be first and goal to go for Ole Miss.
And Jim, you realize LSU's offense has not had the ball since Dwayne Bowe's touchdown.
And also, you realize this is an offense that is one of the worst in the SEC.
Until right now.
And it is first and goal to go. Eiley Highsmith and several others in on the stop, but Ole Miss is threatening first and goal at the LSU 7. Two receivers flank out to the right side. An I formation. Schaefer on a quick count hands the ball to Green Ellis, and he's right straight up the middle and is stopped at about the 3-yard line. But I'll tell you what, he is driving hard, and he is not going down with the initial contact. And it is second and goal to go, and I believe they'll put it down. It took 3 LSU Tigers to slow him down.
Well, he knocked LaRon Landry backwards when he hit him. Stelz then came over to help along with a couple of other Tigers, but LSU getting whipped at the line of scrimmage right now. I mean, the game is going Ole Miss's way right now.
Second down and goal to go at the LSU 3-yard line. Two receivers on the right side. I formation. Schaefer under center. And a long count. Hands it to Green Ellis, and he is stopped at the 2-yard line. Third down and goal to go.
Charles Alexander, I believe. Luke Sanders also. But Alexander, I think, is the one that stopped him with a good lick. But again, Green Ellis, after the initial contact, still fought and picked up about a half yard after that contact.
And remember, this is no fluke for him. He's the second leading rusher in the SEC. Third down, goal to go at the LSU 2-yard line. Ole Miss threatening to take the lead. Two receivers right, I formation. Green Ellis, touchdown. For the first time this year, an opposing team has taken the lead on LSU in Tiger Stadium.
Well, that's not the way this was supposed to have unfolded, but LSU's done it to themselves with penalties. First starting, Jim, with that penalty on the kickoff that cost them 46 yards. Ole Miss then scored, and then the onside kick, and then the penalties after that. And lo and behold, Ole Miss will be ahead 14-7.
Sheen kicks the point through, and with 6:57 to go in a very quiet Tiger Stadium in the first half, Ole Miss leads LSU 14-7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Today we salute you, Mr. Hot Dog Eating Contest contestant. What does it take to eat 24 hot dogs in 12 minutes? Determination, fortitude, and a complete disregard for what they actually put in a hot dog. Open wide. What's for dessert? 9 pounds of antacids and 7 hours of routine angioplasty.
My left arm feels tingly.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh diplomat of the dog.
Mr. Hot Dog
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine a world without Cintas Uniforms, the home electronics store.
Hi there. I bought a satellite dish here, and I don't even know which way to aim the darn thing. It looks like I'm going to need your help.
Whoa, be careful where you aim that dish, man. They're out there, and they're listening.
You don't work here, do you?
Put your staff in Cintas uniforms and your business will get instant identity. Cintas can handle any uniform need for any business. Call 1-800-CINTAS-1 or visit Cintas.com today. Cintas, the uniform people.
Kicker himself.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Mosley hits a squibber. That's going to bounce and be fielded and dropped by Holiday at the 15. He's in big trouble and goes out of bounds at the 17. And there is another mistake for LSU. However, there goes a flag down, and that probably will be a late hit called on. Well, I thought maybe that would be a late hit on Ole Miss out of bounds, but let's see what they call it. Now, if that's against LSU, my goodness.
Our sideline fly on the wall says so. Doug Blanchard was over there off the sideline.
Jordy Holberg is telling us he thinks it's against LSU. Let's see. Personal foul, LSU. And it continues to happen. And the Tigers have got to shut this down. Now, they've got to shut it down.
Following the play, dead ball, late hit, 85 for the the receiving team. Penalties half the distance to the goal, first down.
My goodness. What an incredible series of mistakes by LSU that had put them in dire straits. Well, here is the scoring drive for Ole Miss. 39 yards on 6 plays. They used 251. It's an unusual stat. All 3 scoring drives, the one by LSU, the 2 by Ole Miss, have all had 6 plays. Tigers got to do something positive, and it hasn't happened in a while. Receivers on both sides. I formation. Hester is the running back, and Russell is checked off. Now he goes back under center. And he hands it away to Hester, and again, there's nothing there. Can't tell you how many times this year it's happened that Russell has changed the play, checked off, and handed the ball off, and it resulted in no gain.
Well, Ole Miss had 8 guys in the box. They had LSU 2 wide receivers, had a cornerback playing head up, and 1 safety in the middle of the field. Everybody else was up at the line of scrimmage, and it's just tough to run. You don't have enough people to block them there.
Now, obviously, Russell saw something there that he thought he should call a running play. But there was no gain on the play, and it's 2nd and 10. Now it's a shotgun formation, an obvious throwing down. 2 receivers left and 1 right. I think Ole Miss is offsides. Russell throws it complete to Buster Davis. At the 15, he is short of the first down. However, that will come back because I believe Ole Miss jumped offsides. He was tackled up around the 18-yard line. Hester leads LSU with 73 rushes, 355 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see what this one is all about.
Davis picked up about 9 on the play. So do you take the 5-yard penalty in the down over, or do you take the 9-yard play, but it cost you the down?
Do you have an option on this one, or is that one of those automatics?
No, this is an option.
Oh, then LSU, I think, will decline it.
Defense 92. The penalties decline.
Yeah, it's declined.
3rd down.
But now you've got to convert.
Yeah, whether that was a good choice or not, and I think that was the right choice.
3rd down and 1.
Less than a yard, but they got to make it.
Got to make it because you could have had 2nd and 5.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is let Ole Miss stuff you right here.
No kidding. I formation, lone receiver on the right side. Ole Miss, look at that. They've got everybody in the box. Do set in motion going to the far side. And the handoff is to Hester, and he's got the first down. Good job as he stumbles across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. That's 5 first downs in the ball game for LSU. Johnson and a couple of others in on the stop for Ole Miss.
That was an important play right there. LSU keeps possession out at their 21 now with 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, and really would like to get this drive downfield, finish it off with a touchdown, and tie the game.
Receivers on both sides, out of the I formation. First down LSU, play action fake. Russell drops it. Oh, he has been chased, and he goes down at the 9-yard line. And the Tiger offensive line has simply not given him any time to throw the ball tonight. I'm not sure what we're seeing out there. I have not seen, have you, this year, anybody give Russell that kind of a fit. He is tackled back at the 10-yard line. I mean, there were 2 people back there before he even turned around.
Well, he had a corner blitz coming from the right defensive side. The cornerback came off the receiver right before the snap. Russell, of course, didn't see him. That's not the person putting the pressure. The pressure came up the middle, and Russell rolled out to the left side and right into the face of the cornerback who was blitzing.
Now to 2nd and 21, back at the 10-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left and 1 right. Vincent is back there. Ole Miss jumps again. But there is no flag. Now there is a flag. Davis passes complete, but he doesn't get much. Stopped at about the 17-yard line. LSU better take this penalty.
They'll take the penalty there. That'll get them 5 of the yards back. That'll move it out to the 15. Still, it's going to be about 17 to go for the first down with the 2nd down coming.
Tackle was made by Johnson, but LSU will take this 5-yard penalty.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
So now it'll be 2nd down at about 16. It was 2nd and 21. They've got to get it up to the about the 32-yard line, and the ball is on the 15. With Chrysler, you get the best in American and German engineering and design, so hurry to your local Chrysler dealer today For inspiration comes Standard, and Bell South is a proud sponsor of college athletics. Go Tigers. 3:46 to play in the first half. Ole Miss leads LSU. Receivers on both sides, out of the I formation. Dropping back is Russell. He looks, he throws, almost intercepted. Incomplete at the 25-yard line, and again, somebody had Russell by the leg. Pass was intended for Davis, overthrown. Let's go to Jordy.
Only 2 receivers out on that pattern, I'm sure, to pass block for Russell, and nobody was open on the play. Luckily, he kind of threw that away. Nobody could pick it off, but no one open.
Yeah, that's been happening all night. Russell has just not been able to find anybody to throw the ball to. 3rd down and 16 at the LSU 15-yard line. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Shotgun formation. Hester back there with Russell standing at the 10-yard line. Bo in motion. Back is Russell to throw. Can't find anybody. Now he throws it way downfield. Bo's got to try to go get it, and it's almost intercepted at the 45-yard line. Boy, Ole Miss is playing some superb pass defense tonight. That was almost intercepted by Clark, and LSU will have to give the ball back.
And actually, Jamarcus Russell had very good protection on the play, and he put himself in trouble by stepping out of the pocket. Had he just stayed in the pocket, he had plenty of time to find a receiver down there. He threw a bad pass as it was.
Ole Miss has got 3 back deep to receive as Jackson is standing at the goal line. They're all standing back around the 43-yard line in Ole Miss territory. There is the snap. Jackson gets it off. It's a low, wobbly kick. It'll be fielded at the 46-yard line. And look out. He's got some room to run down the far sidelines. And he's all the way back down to the LSU 32-yard line. That is Greeley. And the LSU special teams are having their hands full here tonight against kickoff and punt returns. And Ole Miss has put themselves in great position to have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And thank goodness for Ryan Willis, because were he not over there to make the tackle, Green would have gone all the way for the score. As it was, he had a nice return. He got to the mark that was the first down mark LSU needed to make on that series. Ole Miss takes over at the LSU 32-yard line, 3:12 remaining in the second quarter. The Ole Miss Rebels leading 14-7.
2 receivers will flank out to the left in an I formation. Green Ellis is the running back. Ole Miss leads 14-7. Here's a handoff to Green Ellis, and he pulls people with him down to about the 30-yard line. Go Tigers, go forward. Louisiana Economic Development is moving our state forward with business-friendly incentives and support programs for aggressive companies throughout Louisiana. To learn more, visit louisianaforward.com/roll. Glenn Dorsey, Craig Stelz in on the stop. The last 3 drives have started at the LSU 34, the LSU 39, and the LSU 32 as Ole Miss has had tremendous field position, much of it due to LSU mistakes. 2nd down and 8. Receivers on both sides. Green Ellis, the lone running back. Schaefer under center. Hands the ball away. Green Ellis down to about the 26-yard line, and he stopped there. It'll bring up 3rd down, but the clock is running with 2:12 left to play in the half. Ole Miss already leads it 14-7. And they are 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversion attempts in this ball game. They are only 28% on the year. Marlon Favorite made the stop. 3rd down and 4.
LSU just getting whipped up front right now. Ole Miss is knocking them off the football. The Tigers look uninspired. This is the most uninspired Jim I think that I've seen them all year.
All year. Receivers on both sides in an I formation. Schaefer under center. 3rd down and 4 at the LSU 26. Short drop to throw. Pump fake. Now he's got room to run, and he is going to be knocked down, but I think his extra effort got the first down. LSU had a look at him but couldn't get him down, and he goes down in a pile around the first down mark about the 22-yard line. Chevis Jackson, Marlon Favorite were there, but where they spotted the ball, that is very close to a first down, and close enough I think, to measure. Walk-ons, having become a Tiger tradition in just 3 years, wants to extend its thanks to the Baton Rouge and LSU community for their support. So if you're in the area or are just hungry for some walk-ons, tell them that the voice of the Tigers sent you. Show your Tiger spirit every time you get a call with the Louisiana State fight song ringback tone. You can treat callers to the LSU fight song while they wait for you to pick up. Simply send a text to 728, put 107 in the message, only from Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers.
It's third and about a foot. The ball is just inside or just outside the 21-yard line. They're going to move it in to the hash now, and they're using the sticks at the hash to mark and bring the ball in. So Ole Miss between the 22 and 23-yard line of LSU. Third down, 1:11 remaining in the first half. Ole Miss has 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, obviously they are in field goal range now. It is 4th down and inches. Quarterback sneak, got the first down. The surge by the Ole Miss offensive line just knocked the LSU defensive line back. And it is 1st and goal to go at the 27. That was Schaefer, who just kept the ball himself. Straight ahead. Well, the Tigers be glad this half is over. Doug, they'll just have to absolutely put this behind them, regroup, and play a good second half of football because they've been pushed around a little bit here in the first half. Probably more than anybody has pushed them around all year. 1st and 10, Ole Miss. The LSU 21, 2 receivers left. Schaefer rolls to the near side, looks, cocks, and throws, and it is batted out of bounds by Chevis Jackson, intended for Wallace, down around the 10-yard line. On the near side of the field, stops the clock with 47 seconds left in the half.
Fine play by Chevis Jackson. Again, this is a rollout to the left. Schaefer left-handed, and that's the only one that he's rolled so far this game. He's not rolling to the right, which would be a more difficult throw. He had Wallace on the sideline, threw a perfect pass. Chevis Jackson reached his left hand in and batted the ball away right before it got to Wallace. So nice play by Jackson. Stops the clock at 47 with second down coming.
LSU has only 97 yards in this ball game. Ole Miss 127. 2 receivers left. Out of the I formation, Schaefer hands it away to Green Ellis, and he is stopped at the 20-yard line. I think they're not worried too much about that.
Jacob Catrera first to make contact on Green Ellis, and helped by Craig Stelz.
And Ali Highsmith. And so it will be second down, and I think Ole Miss is taking a timeout. 40 seconds left to play in the first half. You know, you can do an awful lot of things in the second half, and the Tigers will have to do that. You talked in the pregame, Doug, about this might be a difficult game for LSU to get inspired because of for whatever reason, because of what had transpired earlier today with Auburn winning and Arkansas winning. But you know, the Tigers have got to win this game for that Arkansas game to have the significance that they want it to have.
Yeah, I mean,
they simply have not played well.
They're human beings, and they started out the game flat. Jim, you could tell. You know, first series LSU didn't do anything, had to get rid of the football. They kept kind of plodding along and getting a little bit better. Finally, on the touchdown drive, LSU got the lead, and you sensed that they had regained the momentum. And then the kickoff was a fine kickoff into the end zone. Ole Miss ready to start in their 20, and a flag for being offsides on a kickoff. What a foolish penalty to be offsides on a kickoff. On the re-kick, Ole Miss ran it back and made it a 46-yard penalty as they started off at the LSU 34-yard line instead of at their own 20. Took it in for the score, then onside kicked, an excellent execution of the play. Scored again to go ahead 14-7, and then Ole Miss is down here knocking on the door, and LSU's got to come up on this 3rd and 8 with a big play defensively.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Schaefer, pump fake, looks towards the end zone and throws, and he overthrows. Oh, it's intercepted, but he's out of bounds. It was intercepted on a diving play by Stelz in the back of the end zone. He overthrew an intended receiver, and now, with 34 seconds left, Ole Miss may try the field goal here.
That's a good defensive job, though. Jonathan Zenon had the receiver short there. Craig Stelz came over to take the deep ball and actually got his hands on the football. He was out of bounds. Even if he had caught it, he was not able to hang on to it. But Ole Miss is going to be forced to go for a field goal.
37-yard field goal. Sheen is 12 of 10. He has a 52-yarder. He is very good. He has made 11 in a row. And there is the kick. He missed it. He missed it. And the magic of the LSU field goal defense continues here in this game. Opponents are now only 6 of 14 on field goal tries against LSU this year. Now that's pretty incredible stat.
I mean, is that the John Vaughn hex or the Alexis Cerna hex?
What?
Or
hex?
what?
It's been going on for years.
Or the Billy Bennett hex?
It's been going on for years.
It's going on for years. The national championship year, Jonathan Nichols from Ole Miss missed a couple of field goals. Billy Bennett from Georgia. Those are the 2 best kickers in the country. Yep. Missed multiple field goals.
13 seconds left. Tiger's going to take a knee and get out of here and go to the locker room and regroup and try to play some football in the second half. The home crowd not real happy about what they saw here, but there's another half of football to play. And we definitely expect that LSU will come out of the locker room fired up and ready to go. Let's go down to Jordy, talk to Coach Miles.
Thank you very much. Well, Coach, I know you can't be very pleased. A very uncharacteristic first half by your club, penalty-wise, mistake-wise.
Mistake? I mean, what we got to do is just settle down and play our football. It's just that simple. All we have to do is play and do the things we came here to do. That's just that simple.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Coach. If you didn't hear my question, guys, it was the fact that you had to be upset with the fact of all the mistakes and all. And Les Miles said, you know what? We just have to play our football. That's right. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make. Not very happy right now. I'm sure this locker room will be a little interesting, and I'll tell you all about it when we return.
All right, Jordy, thank you very much. It is halftime, and Ole Miss, a 27-point underdog, leads LSU at the half, 14-7, here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
When we got married, suddenly we had 2 of everything. 2 dinette sets, 2 dogs.
2 car insurance companies. This is a true story about true savings from State Farm.
We had to get rid of a few things.
What's my chair?
He had State Farm.
And she had the gecko.
His agent helped us compare.
There was no comparison.
This time, one of his things stayed.
Find a State Farm agent today in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South or visit statefarm.com.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
Savings based on home and automobile discount.
I got to get up early. I got to be on time.
Only the Ford F-150 is tough enough to be number 1 for 29 years.
And right now, a built Ford Tough 2006 F-150 comes with a $1,000 Chrome Package discount. That's a great deal on the truck with best-in-class payload. Test drive a new Ford F-150 today at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer. Based on manufacturer's retail sales 1976 to present. Class is full-size pickup.
'Cause I'm built Ford Tough.
Kevin Ford back in the LeBarish Hotel and Casino Studio Control Room. This is the Regions Bank halftime show as Ole Miss leading an uninspired LSU football team right now with a score of 14-7 at halftime. The LSU Tigers remind you that a winner always uses a designated driver or volunteers to be one. Be a good sport and keep our roads safe. Always put safe driving at the top of your lineup. A message from the LSU Sports Radio Network and Mockler Beverage Budweiser. And go everywhere, do everything in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Jeep Wrangler. It's now time to take a look at the scoreboard, brought to you by CST, the home of LSU Athletics. Number 1, Ohio State will play for the national championship because they beat number 2, Michigan today, 42-39. Number 3, Florida rolled over Western Carolina 62-0. In the second quarter, we have a baseball game. Number 4, Southern Cal leading number 17, Cal, by the score of 6-2. Number 5, Arkansas clinched the SEC West and a berth in the SEC championship game by beating Mississippi State 28-14. Number 6, Notre Dame beat Army 41-9. At halftime, Cincinnati shocking number 7, Rutgers 17-3. In the third, number 10, Louisville leading South Florida 10-0. Number 12, Wisconsin beat Buffalo 35-3. Number 13, Boise State beat Utah State 49-10. In the third quarter, number 19, Virginia Tech leads number 14, Wake Forest 24-6. Number 15, Auburn beat Alabama 22-15. It was number 16 Oklahoma over Baylor 36-10. Number 18 Georgia Tech blows out Duke 49-21. Number 20 Boston College beat Maryland 38-16. Maryland was ranked number 21. Number 22 Tennessee beat Vandy 39-10. It was number 23 BYU over New Mexico 42-17. South Carolina waxed Middle Tennessee 52-7. Kentucky comes from behind to beat UL Monroe 42-40. Tulane beat Central Florida 10-9. ULL beat Florida International 17-7. In the second, Nevada leads Louisiana Tech 35-0, and in the third, McNeese leads Nichols 17-0. Other games today: Fresno State shut out Idaho 34-0. Arizona beat Oregon 37-10. TCU blanked San Diego State 52-0. Oregon State beat Stanford 30-7. Kansas beat Kansas State 39-20. Rice beat East Carolina 18-17. Purdue beat Indiana 28-19. It was Minnesota over Iowa 34-24. Virginia beat Miami of Florida 17-7. Penn State beat Michigan State 17-13. Florida State beat Western Michigan 28-20. And Texas Tech beat Oklahoma State by the score of 30-24. Our score at the halftime: Ole Miss 14 and LSU 7. Tiger fans, did you know that a recent survey shows 9 out of 10 tailgaters prefer the safety and convenience of affordable propane gas for their tailgating parties? But propane's not just for parties. To find out more, visit www.louisianapropane.com. And come by Walk-Ons to try our menu filled with variety, from burgers, soups, and salads and Cajun dishes to our nearly famous desserts at Walk-Ons. 14-7, Rebels lead the Tigers at the half. The Region Bank halftime show continues after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Bowl games following a college football season have been a tradition since 1902. This season, there will be 32 postseason bowl games showcasing the nation's most talented student athletes. This unique postseason experience has provided a lifetime of memories for generations of college football fans. Bowl games have established a remarkable heritage of not only supporting higher education, but also giving back to their local communities. Be a part of the college football experience by attending a bowl game this year. LSU offensive lineman Rudy Niswanger and Alabama linebacker D'Amico Ryans were named 2 of 8 Division I-A National Scholar Athletes by the National Football Foundation in 2005. Niswanger also won the National Football Association's Dratty Award, an honor also known as the Academic Heisman. The SEC has had multiple recipients of this honor each of the last 4 years, giving the conference 10 honorees during that span. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today.
Your connection to LSU sporting events is the Tiger Ticket Office, located in the main lobby of the Athletic Administration Building. Advanced ticket sales to all events are available from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, on both a season and single game basis. For complete seating and price information, call the LSU Ticket Office at 225-578-2184 or toll free 1-800-960-8587 and see the Tigers in action whenever you can.
On game days, LSU coaches communicate by way of wireless technology. Did you know that LSU students have access to wireless technology every day? In fact, Intel named LSU among the most unwired campuses in the country. Findings were based on the number of areas on campus with wireless access to the internet, as well as the student-to-computer ratio and the percentage of campus covered by wireless technology. LSU has a great game plan, on and off the field.
And we are back on the Regions Bank halftime show. Ole Miss leading LSU by the score of 14-7 at halftime. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns in a Dodge. And the Louisiana Lottery is a proud sponsor of LSU Athletics. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. And it's time now to take a look at the first half highlights of this ballgame, brought to you by Olshan Foundation Repair. Not much happening at all in the first quarter, as Ole Miss won the toss and deferred. On Ole Miss's first possession of the game, they go 3 and out. fake a punt and get a first down. They get to the LSU 41-yard line where they're forced to punt. The Tigers get it. They get to midfield. They punt. Ole Miss takes over 1st and 10 at their 23-yard line, pick up 1 first down, and then they're forced to punt again.
Park standing back around the Ole Miss 28. Buster Davis at the LSU 17. Clock is running with 1:20 to play in the first quarter. There's the snap. And he's going to throw the ball, and it is caught. Oh, it's dropped. It is dropped on 4th down. LSU will get it at the Ole Miss 38-yard line.
Tigers officially have it at the 42-yard line. And as the second quarter begins, LSU drives, and they score the first points of the game.
Here is Davis coming in motion to the near side. Russell drops back. Here comes the big rush. He throws. It is caught for a touchdown. That is Dwayne Bowe, who got open in the end zone.
13 yards. The PAT by Colt David is good. 13:55 left in the first half. 7-zip in favor of LSU. 6-play, 42-yard drive. It took 2:17 off of the clock. Then on the kickoff, the Tigers kick it into the end zone. Ole Miss would have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Wrong. LSU is offsides. They have to re-kick the ball. Ole Miss gets a great punt return, a kickoff return down to the 34-yard line, and they drive, and they tie the game.
There's a snap. Schaefer drops to throw. He's being chased. He throws screen. It's going to be for a big play. That's going to be a touchdown, I think. And it is.
Schaefer to haul 22 yards. The PAT is good by Sheen. 9:55 left in the second. We're tied at 7 apiece. 6-play, 34-yard drive that took 3:36 off the clock. On the PAT, personal foul on LSU. It is assessed on the kickoff, so Ole Miss decides they'll try an onside kick.
LSU's got Trendon Holiday and early Doucette back deep. And it is. It's an onside try, and it is up for grabs. And Ole Miss has got it. LSU got beat on an onside kick again.
They got beat again, and Ole Miss had great field position at the LSU 39-yard line. Once again, they're able to move the football, and on 3rd and goal from the 1, Ole Miss takes the lead.
3rd down, goal to go at the LSU 2-yard line. Ole Miss threatening to take the lead. 2 receivers right, I formation. Green Ellis, touchdown.
The PAT is good. 6:57 left in the first half. 14-7 Rebels. A 6-play, 39-yard drive. It took 2:51 off of the clock. LSU gets it back deep in their own territory because of another personal foul penalty. They're forced to punt. Ole Miss gets great field position at the LSU 32-yard line. They have a chance with a 37-yard field goal to increase the lead.
37-yard field goal. Sheen is 12 of 10. He has a 52-yarder. He is very good. He has made 11 in a row. And there is the kick. He missed it. He missed it.
So LSU only trails by 7, 14-7 at the half. They need to wake up in the second half. Cal is now leading Southern Cal 9-6. Rutgers is losing to Cincinnati. The Tigers have some opportunities if they take care of business in the second half. The Regions Bank Halftime Show continues after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
LSU athletic programs pump over $80 million in business sales into the economy annually, and that's just athletics. Did you know the flagship university contributes over $1.5 billion of economic activity to Louisiana every year? LSU equals jobs, technology, research, business, the arts, and education. LSU is critical to the Louisiana economy and our quality of life. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. The LSU Tigers are considered one of the fastest and smartest teams in the country. But did you know that LSU has one of the fastest and smartest supercomputers in the world? With a new upgrade by Intel, the supercomputer now clocks in at approximately 4 teraflops. That's 4 trillion floating point operations per second. This places Super Mike among the fastest supercomputers in the world. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. LSU has won more than 40 national sports championships and more than 100 Southeastern Conference titles, making it one of the hottest athletic scenes in the nation. But there's more to LSU than athletics. Did you know that Newsweek ranked LSU one of the nation's 12 hottest campuses, noting its diversity? LSU has students from all 50 states and over 100 countries. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. LSU is known for its athletic prowess, with top-rated athletes in almost every venue. But did you know that LSU is also renowned for its award-winning faculty? Many are the top experts in their fields. LSU's plan to gain greater national academic prominence calls for more top professors by the year 2010, making LSU more competitive nationally and internationally. LSU has a great game plan, on and off the field.
And we are back on the Regions Bank halftime show. 14-7 the score at halftime. Ole Miss leading LSU. Now let's go back over to Tiger Stadium and Doug Morrow. Doug?
Thank you very much, Kevin. Halftime, Ole Miss leading LSU surprisingly 14-7, and the Tigers will be kicking to Ole Miss to start the third quarter. But between then and now, we have an opportunity to talk with a youngster, John Miller from Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling. Coca-Cola Bottling is the game sponsor for tonight's game. And John, welcome. And Coca-Cola's that new product that is trying to get its name known in the Baton Rouge market, right?
Well, we've been around for 100 years, and we're very proud to be part of the Baton Rouge community and the surrounding parishes, and also to be affiliated with the LSU sports program.
How long have you been with Coca-Cola?
I've been here a little over 4 years now.
And Coca-Cola is very active. My gosh, they're everywhere in the Baton Rouge community and have been for a number of years, and participate in virtually every event that has any public knowledge.
Doug, I appreciate you saying that. We're very fortunate to be part of a community that has given back so much to Baton Rouge Coca-Cola. We not only support Baton Rouge, but the 10 parishes surrounding Baton Rouge. And this year we celebrate our 100th anniversary. And we've had such a tremendous celebration. We've done sampling throughout the community where we gave out drinks at all types of sampling locations throughout Baton Rouge. We wanted to buy Baton Rouge and surrounding parishes a Coke. Every mayor and all the surrounding parishes we had Coca-Cola Day in those communities and have given back a little bit, just a fraction of what they've given to us as our community. And hopefully we've been a good corporate sponsor with Baton Rouge and the surrounding community and given back a lot. And we thank Baton Rouge so much because they've given so much to us, not only in buying our products, but also this year Baton Rouge Coca-Cola was recognized as the #1 bottler in the United States. So we're very excited to be part of what happens in Baton Rouge and be part of LSU as well.
Now, Thanksgiving coming up next week, but after Thanksgiving, the next big one comes up is Christmas.
Absolutely.
You got something related to Christmas, don't you?
We do very much so. One of the things that many people don't know is there's a gentleman named Sunbloom that created the modern day Santa Claus that we all know and love today. Back in 1931, the Santa Claus that we know today was not in existence. He painted the first Santa Claus that we know as we see it today. And this year's the 75th anniversary of the Coca-Cola Sunbloom Santa. Lots of people have lots of memorabilia that is related to the Coca-Cola Santa Claus. We celebrate a 75th anniversary. You'll see in the stores and already see in the stores lots of information on the products being sold in celebration of his 75th anniversary.
Well, John, thanks all the great things that Coca-Cola Bottling does in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana, and particularly for the affiliation that you have with LSU and LSU athletics.
Well, I will tell you that there's nothing that goes better together than LSU sports and ice-cold Coca-Cola, and we've always enjoyed the relationship that we've had out here for years and years. This year we've had a tremendous opportunity to add a little bit of flair to that with LSU by bringing in Brooks and Dunn earlier this year for homecoming game, and we were very pleased to do that in coordination with Walmart. And it's been a tremendous partnership for years, and we look forward to many years to come as well.
Hope so too. Thank you so much, John Miller from Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling. And I will have statistics from the first half, but first, let's take a break on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
I got to get up early, I got to be on time.
Only the Ford F-150 is tough enough to be #1 for 29 years.
And right now, a Built Ford Tough 2006 F-150 comes with a $1,000 Chrome Package discount. That's a great deal on the truck with best-in-class payload. Test drive a new Ford F-150 today at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer. Based on manufacturer's retail sales 1976 to present, class is full-size pickup. 'Cause I'm built Ford Tough.
Hi, this is Mike Belfour with Belfour Building Construction from Eunice, Louisiana. I've been building propane-powered homes for more than 30 years. Propane houses are safe and offer incredible savings for homeowners. Propane water heaters, for example, heat water twice as fast for a third the cost of electricity. Take it from me, Mike Belfour. Propane is an exceptional energy, and propane homes are an exceptional value. For more information, call your local propane dealer or visit www.louisianapropane.com.
Good things come in threes.
Triple fortune. Triple fortune.
Play Triple Fortune, the new $2 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $12,000. Over 129,000 doubled and triple prizes. Stop and ask for Triple Fortune today.
Scratch it, you can see what your fortune will be. Good things coming free.
Must be at least 21 to purchase.
When you think about it, bank locations are a lot like touchdowns. You can never get enough of them. And the more you have, the more you get the urge to celebrate in a highly personal way. But let's not go there. So the next time you do business at any of Regions Bank's 1,400 branches or 1,600 ATM locations, don't be ashamed if you break into that victory dance. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC and proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Member FDIC.
Rushing leader for LSU, Justin Vincent, who carried 7 times for 39 yards.
And that's about it. The next highest LSU rusher, Jacob Hester, 2 carries for 5 yards, followed by Trendon Holiday, 1 for 3. Let me give you the statistics real quick for the first half, because it was a very disappointing performance by LSU in the first half. They scored first, and that was about it. First downs, Ole Miss 8, LSU 5. Ole Miss rushed 24 times at 64 yards, LSU 13 times 39 yards. Ole Miss passed for 65 yards, LSU 58. Jamarcus Russell, 5 of 10 throwing. Ole Miss's Brent Schaefer, 5 of 12. Total offense, listen to this, LSU 97 yards in the first half. Ole Miss 129, not that great either. Time of possession, Ole Miss had it for over 17 minutes, LSU for under 13, and LSU got the kickoff to start the game. So they were outplayed for almost the entire first half, and the shame of it was that they started out very flat, LSU did, and then they climbed back into the control of the momentum aspect of the game, scored their touchdown on a very nice drive, although it was short. But it was a nice drive, capped off with a Dwayne Bowe touchdown. And then on the ensuing kick, LSU committed an offsides penalty. Ole Miss ran the next kick back to the LSU 34-yard line, and it's been all Ole Miss since that time. LSU held them at the end of the half with no points, as Ole Miss was knocking on the door to get another touchdown or at least a field goal, and missed the field goal attempt. Tigers will kick it from the north end, headed towards the south. Ole Miss receiving it at the south end. As we look at it, Ole Miss in the third quarter will be going right to left. LSU kicking it left to right as Chris Jackson teeing the ball up at the 35-yard line. We'll look carefully to see if anybody's offsides. Hope not. And here to give the play-by-play for the second half, Jim Hawthorne.
All right, thank you, Doug. Back deep for Ole Miss is Green, number 21, and McSwain, number 40. LSU will kick it off from left to right, trailing for the first time at home this year at half, or period, at home, 14-7. Final half of football in Tiger Stadium this year. Jackson's kick is going to come up short. Fielded at the 6, back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and big room to run. And there may not be anybody getting. Down the near sidelines, he is pushed out of bounds at the LSU 33-yard line, and the Tigers special teams have just been beat up badly here tonight. Nobody has run the ball back on punts and kickoffs like Ole Miss has on almost every punt and every kickoff here tonight. My goodness, that was Green, and Ole Miss is right back knocking on LSU's door. Let's go down to Jordy.
Well, I guess the Tigers didn't listen very well at halftime, because Les Miles told his ball club, look, guys, we cannot let your seniors down. They've worked too hard. It's a new ball game. We're going to come up, make stops, get the football back, tie the score, then get the lead, and it's going to be all she wrote. Well, the defense has to play.
They better make some big plays in a hurry. 2 receivers right in an I formation. Schaefer hands the ball away. Green Ellis rolls off. LSU cannot tackle him. He pulls people down to this 25-yard line.
Hit at the line of scrimmage, Jim, which is the 33-yard line. Broke the first tackle and then pulled 3 tacklers all the way down to the 25.
Ran through Glenn Dorsey, and not many people can do that.
And so it's an inauspicious start for LSU here in the third quarter, and they better strap it on pretty tight here, because Ole Miss has come to play, at least to begin this second half.
Second down and 3. Ole Miss at the LSU 26. Ole Miss has started every offensive series tonight inside the LSU 40. Every one of them. Hand off to Green Ellis at the 25. Look at him. He just pushes people down to the 22-yard line. First down. Tremendous leg strength. LSU simply is not tackling him. They make contact with him, grab hold of him. They cannot tackle him.
And you said it, Jim. What they're doing is grabbing. They're not hitting. Football's a contact game, and when defensively you're not striking a blow, you're just catching people. They have all the momentum, and Green Ellis is really making LSU pay for it as he gets a first down at the LSU 22-yard line.
Two receivers on the right side, I formation, 1st and 10 Ole Miss. Schaefer hands it again to Green Ellis. This time he is hit hard, but there's a flag on the play. Jacob Cotrera, I believe, hit him hard back around the 25. It was going to be a loss, but see what the flag is about. Illegal motion against Ole Miss, a rare Ole Miss penalty. That was the center, Corey Actis, who jumped off sides, moves the ball back to the 27, and it'll be 1st and 15.
And it was LSU's best defensive play of the game. That's the first time they really struck a blow on defense. And they were tackling him for a loss, but the illegal motion actually stopped the play before the snap.
Two receivers flanked to the right. I formation, Schaefer under center. Tiger defense trying to dig in. Short drop, he throws across the way. Bad pass, incomplete, intended for Wallace. They were trying to set the quick screen up on the far side, and he threw it too low for Wallace. And it'll bring up second down. Carve up some premium flavor with 3 new gourmet turkey subs at Subway restaurants for a limited time. Carved all white meat turkey. Now that is eating fresh. Only at Subway restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh.
Well, Brent Schaefer's played a good little game. He's been very, very effective. He's quick. He's been pretty much accurate throwing the football, and Ole Miss has 2 or 3 players who can play, and they get the ball to him every chance they can.
2 receivers right and 1 left. Lone running back Green Ellis. Schaefer under center. 2nd and 15. Short drop. Throws down the far sidelines, and it is incomplete over there. Intended again for Wallace. Recovered by Zenon, and it brings up 3rd down and 15. I'd like to thank tonight's game sponsor, Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of LSU Athletics. Big important play right here. 3rd down and 15. Ole Miss in easy field goal territory right now, although they did miss a 37-yard field goal with seconds left in the first half. 3 receivers right and 1 left. They'll set up a shotgun formation. Green Ellis is back there with Schaefer. Standing around the 32-yard line. He drops back to throw. There's that shovel pass. It worked earlier. It's working pretty good this time, but stopped at the 20-yard line.
And that's Robert Lane. Who caught it. Yeah, Robert Lane, who went to Ole Miss as a quarterback. Remember, was going to come to LSU. The Tigers recruited Jamarcus Russell. Robert Lane changed his mind. He's from Monroe and had family heritage with ties to LSU. He changed his mind, went to Ole Miss, and he's a tight end for them now. 38-yard field goal attempt by Sheen this time. He missed from 37 in the first half. Chance to redeem himself here. Hash marks near side of the field. There's a snap, and the kick is up, and this one looks pretty good, and it is. And so Ole Miss scores to start the second half. 12-12 to play in the third. Ole Miss leads LSU by 10, 17-7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Football fans love to see the LSU Tigers hit the field like a hurricane. Did you know that the LSU Hurricane Center has the largest collection of hurricane researchers in the world? Research expertise includes remote sensing of storms, hurricane climatology, wind and flood effects on the coastal environment, and access to services for disaster victims. Learn more about the LSU Hurricane Center at hurricane.lsu.edu. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. The LSU Tigers have reached the championship level by recruiting the best. But did you know that LSU also recruits the best students? LSU has increased academic standards 5 times in recent years, and each time enrollment has increased. LSU is proud to have produced 14 Rhodes Scholars, 14 Goldwater Scholars, 4 Marshall Scholars, and now its first Truman Scholar. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field.
Well, here's the scoring drive, and this is pretty amazing. All 4 of them have been 6 plays. This one, 6 plays, only 13 yards, but they used 248 and got a 37-yard field goal. Is that what they gave him officially, 37? So he missed from 37, and he made a 37-yarder. And Ole Miss leads LSU 17-7. And Doug, I think that LSU's offense has got to score almost on this drive to get back in this ball game and to turn things around. I know there's a lot of time left, but there hasn't been a whole lot to look at thus far to indicate that LSU can get anything going.
Ole Miss has taken the crowd out of it. I mean, the crowd is trying to be enthusiastic, but you're looking down on a team that doesn't doesn't appear interested in playing with much inspiration, and they can turn that around, but they've got to do it.
Got to do it. Mosley will kick off, and Holiday and Doucette are back deep for LSU. And there's a kick, and you can forget that one. That's back in the end zone. And Holiday will take a knee, and so LSU will start at their 20-yard line. Tiger fans, it's time for the Verizon Wireless text to win promotion to enter in for your chance to win a trip for 2 to the bowl game. LSU attends this season from Verizon Wireless. Text the word LSU from your Verizon Wireless mobile phone to the number 996-99464. And here's this evening's question. Who was LSU's opponent during the Tigers' highest recorded scoring game? Was it Southwestern Louisiana, Tulane, Alabama, or Rice? Southwestern Louisiana, Tulane, Alabama, or Rice. We'll provide the answer in the fourth quarter, so stay tuned. 2 receivers left, I formation. Russell under center. LSU's first offensive play of the second half. Jacob Hester fights hard for about 4 yards up to the 24-yard line. And down he goes there. And the arms of Marcus Tillman, among others. Also Sanford on the play. Gain of 3, second down and 7. LSU has not come out gunning tonight offensively like they have in the other games. I mean, they came out chucking and throwing and spreading and running, and they have not done that here tonight.
And Jamarcus has looked kind of shell-shocked back there some of the time when they did try to throw it.
2 receivers left and 1 right. Hester in motion. Vincent is the running back. Play action fake, and Russell will throw it. It is complete to Doucette, and he's hit immediately on a great one-on-one tackle at the 29-yard line. That looked like that if he could have gotten by him, that would have been a big gainer, but as soon as he caught the ball, he was just leveled by Muson, and it is 3rd down now and a yard at the 29-yard line.
And big play, 3rd and 1. LSU's got to convert this.
Lone receiver on the left side. Ole Miss has got 9 in the box. Here is Doucette in motion. And Russell hands it away, and Hester fights hard and has the first down. Good job over the offensive left side. That's the 6th first down of the ball game for the Tigers. Defensively, McBride and Johnson and Hardy were all in on the stop. 1st and 10 Tigers at their 33-yard line.
Good blocking up front there by the middle of the LSU offensive line, and a nice choice by Jacob Hester to pick the hole. That was what he needed to get the first down.
2 receivers to the left. I formation, 1st and 10 Tigers. They trail 17-7. 17 straight points for Ole Miss. Handoff straight up the middle. Hester gets nothing. Might have got a yard to the 34. That's it. And it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Herman Johnson didn't make his block. Had he made it, LSU got blocks from everybody else up front. Johnson got whipped, and that's why Hester was held to about a yard and a half gain.
Yeah, they're going to say he got close to 2 from here. It didn't look like he got anything, but they give LSU 2. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right out of the shotgun. Russell with the ball, hands it away, and this is Doucette coming to the outside. He cannot turn the corner, does finally, and is pushed out of bounds around the 40. There goes a flag, and LSU will be the benefit of a unsportsmanlike conduct or a unnecessary roughness penalty. That was Johnson who wrestled Doucette out. Yep, that was LSU finally gets a break and a penalty.
Yeah, and that was dumb of Ole Miss,
Yeah,
as LSU's are dumb. You know, when you have those personal foul penalties, when the guy is out of bounds and you're standing there on the white, you can see there's a big white
turn him loose
band around the field that's about 4 feet wide, and you're standing there on it, and you know that he's out of bounds because you're standing there holding him.
Turn him loose. You don't have to throw him down. He's out of bounds. 1st and 10 LSU at the Ole Miss 45. Bo will flank left and Doucette right. I formation. Hester is the running back. Russell on 1st down is under center. Straight back to throw, being pressured. He does throw, and it is too strong, overshot Doucette. Russell very unhappy with himself. An uncharacteristic bad throw at the Ole Miss 30-yard line as Doucette was in position to make the catch.
He's not been sharp tonight at all.
Nope, he just was wide open there, and
Now Doucette could have made the catch. The pass was thrown high, and he could have made that catch, but it was not a characteristic Jamarcus Russell throw, which is a laser in there about chest high, which gives you a real good chance.
Yeah, this was a laser up above your head, which makes it difficult. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left and 1 right. Justin Vincent is back there with Russell, standing in midfield. There's the snap. Looks, steps up in the pocket. Now he rolls to the near side. Well, and he throws, and it is caught for a 1st down. An excellent catch by Buster Davis down around the 33-yard line. Good job by Russell that time. He just did not want to give up on the play. Kept looking, and finally Davis got open, and Sanford made the stop. It was 13 yards on the play.
Russell out of the shotgun, waited and waited, couldn't find anybody. Buster Davis had run an inside route from the right side and then saw that Russell was scrambling out towards the right sideline and reversed his path, got over there, and made a nice reception for another LSU 1st down at the 32 of Ole Miss.
2 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. Here's a handoff to Holiday, trying to turn the corner far side, and he's tripped up for no gain.
Look at who made that tackle.
Yep.
Patrick Willis.
Yep.
I mean, LSU had a touchdown on the play. They had everybody blocked. Patrick Willis from the middle linebacker. Trendon Holiday, this was a reverse as he came from the right side. Russell handed the ball off to him full speed. They had everybody blocked on the left side.
Dixon missed the block. It was his responsibility to block him, and he ran by him.
You can't block Patrick Willis. He's just too good. LSU hadn't blocked him in 2 years.
2nd down and 11 for the Tigers at the Ole Miss 33-yard line. Allie Broussard in the ballgame for the first time tonight at running back. I formation, receivers on both sides, and Russell is under center. Comes out from under center and has changed the play. Now he goes back under. And he gives it to Broussard. And Broussard piles ahead to the 30 and got very little yardage. 3rd down, and a huge 3rd down play coming here for LSU. LSU 51% on 3rd down conversions. That's the best in the SEC, and they're right about at that tonight. 3 of 6. Willis again in on the stop.
Yeah, good blocking for LSU up front, except Patrick Willis just stepped up right into that hole and held what would have been a big gain to about a 3-yard gain.
3rd down and 9, 4 receiver pattern, and LSU sets up in the shotgun. Hester is back there with Russell. There's the snap. Here comes the rush. Russell steps up and throws, and it is almost intercepted. Should have been intercepted at the 10-yard line. Right in the hands of Brown. He was trying to hit Bo, but Ole Miss has just played terrific pass defense here tonight.
Russell out of the shotgun had Dwayne Bowe running a seam route on the right side, and he threw the ball over the linebacker and was trying to get it over the hands of the safety, Brian Brown, who was covering on Dwayne Bowe, and couldn't quite do it. Brown almost had the interception. Bowe was open behind him, but to get the ball to him, it had to have a little more air underneath it.
David will try his career-long field goal of 48 yards, as long as 45. This will be from 48. Flynn will put it down. And he's got to hurry. And it didn't get there, and he missed it left anyhow, or right anyhow, and so LSU comes up empty-handed.
Well, LSU misses the field goal. That was an opportunity they needed to take advantage of, as Ole Miss missed the field goal near the end of the first half. At least they moved the ball some, but it was not very pretty. The big play in the drive was the personal foul penalty after the play out of bounds near the LSU bench. So Ole Miss will take over at their own 31-yard line.
Time out of the ball game. 7:07 to go in the 3rd. LSU, big hole to climb out of. They trail Ole Miss 17-7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hey, Tiger fans, show your Tiger pride and keep LSU beautiful on game day. Here are 4 easy ways you can help. Mike likes a clean yard, so be sure to use the LSU trash bags and litter cans. Save our oak trees. Don't park on the roots. Keep our families safe. Leave glass at home. And put your aluminum cans in the LSU recycling bins. LSU is a leader in game day recycling efforts. Let's all work together to keep LSU beautiful. Thanks, Tiger fans.
The Southeastern Conference Education Initiative has impacted more than 2 million elementary and middle school students. Utilizing the SEC mascots, this interactive web-based program teaches math and language, as well as motivates students, improves test scores, and inspires an interest in higher education. Now, in its 5th year, this valuable resource features challenging content enhanced by 3D gameplay graphics. For more information, visit secsports.com or learningthroughsports.com.
Co-op Bookstore, the gear you need and the colors you bleed. For all of your Tiger gifts and LSU apparel, shop Co-op Bookstore, located in the shadows of Tiger Stadium at 3960 Burbank Drive here in Baton Rouge, or on the web at coopbookstore.com. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Let's go down and check in with Jordy.
Well, one positive note here: this is the worst field position Ole Miss has had to start to start a drive. So maybe
first time
got to get a stop.
First time they haven't started in LSU territory, I believe. They are at their own 31-yard line. Receivers on both sides. Here is a handoff to Green Ellis, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He ran head-on into Ricky Jean-Francois. And also in on the stop was Luke Sanders.
Now that's good aggressive defensive play. Jean-Francois pushed him back. First he made contact. He struck a blow on him, stopped his momentum, and then grabbed him, wrapped him up, and shoved him backwards. That one play is not characteristic of the way LSU's played the whole game, but if it's characteristic of the way they will play, then that means at least they've come to play this series.
Looks like a new quarterback in there, too. Looks like Adams is in at quarterback for Ole Miss. Man in motion from the far side, and here is an end around coming to the near side, and in trouble and going down at the 33-yard line. Actually, he pushed his way up to the 35. Is Mike Willis on the end around, and new quarterback kind of slipped in there on us. That is Seth Adams.
Wallace took that little reverse coming from the right side. He's one of the playmakers they have, and they'll get the ball in his hands an awful lot. They'll try to give it to him. Marche Green is a fine open field runner, and that time he picked up about 3, but 3rd down and 6 for Ole Miss.
2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left, and Adams will set up in the shotgun. Waiting on the snap, there it is. And he has plenty of time. He throws. It is caught for a first down up around the 44-yard line, 46-yard line. Wallace came back and got it in front of Chevis Jackson, who was given ground. And Ole Miss, the worst team in the league at converting 3rd downs, converts again. Let's go down to Jordy.
Buster Davis just walked by and said, that was my high school teammate, Wallace. And I said, man, was he that good in high school? He said, yeah, pretty darn good. He's sure fast enough.
Well, the Tigers have had their hands full with him tonight, and again, Ole Miss converts on 3rd down, 1st and 10 at their 46. 5:15 to play in the 3rd, and LSU trails by 10. 2 receivers right at an I formation. Adams under center. Gives to Green Ellis. And look at the running room he's got. 45-40 out of bounds at the LSU 39-yard line. There's a flag back around the 45. Again, for whatever reason, LSU had absolutely nobody defending the field on this side of the field where Green Ellis ran.
Chase Pittman got hooked inside by the tackle. I mean,
that one's going to come back.
Got run down the line of scrimmage, and that's what created the big hole. He didn't stay where he was even. He didn't turn the play inside. He got crushed.
Let's listen.
Holding 74 of the offense. Face mask 93 of the defense.
Oh my goodness.
Those penalties offset. First down.
Goodness gracious. LSU cannot get a break to save their lives. That could have been a huge penalty for Ole Miss. Instead, it's just absolutely like nothing happened. Well, so it's 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Nothing happening is a lot better than what did.
Well, not really. Because if the Ole Miss penalty was allowed to happen.
But if Ole Miss didn't have a penalty, then the ball's down
if,
there.
ands, and buts, right?
Yep.
But LSU trails by 10. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Lone running back. Adams under center. Straight back to throw. Pump fake. Does throw. Caught. Down for a first down at the LSU 44-yard line.
Now, this guy at quarterback is playing good. I don't know why they put him in. I don't know if Schaefer is hurt. But this passes the ball very well. A little bit bigger.
Ole Miss offense has played pretty well all night against the LSU defense.
Well, we've made them look pretty good, I think.
Adams was 13 of 23 for 143 yards coming into this game, and he's got Ole Miss now down at the LSU 43-yard line, and the Tigers just simply have got to come up with a big play and make something happen. I mean, the momentum, the enthusiasm, the feel is just not there tonight. Receivers on both sides. Green Ellis is the lone running back. Adams under center. Play action fake. Here is an end around, and there's nobody over here. At the 45, coming to the outside, runs by Landry, runs into his own man, and goes down at about the 38-yard line. And it'll bring up second down. They are finding some huge holes in the LSU defense out there. That was McSwain on the carry coming around the near side.
This is a reverse, and LaRon Landry does a nice job. Chevis Jackson held his blocker at bay as opposed to getting taken out of the play, and he allowed LaRon Landry to chase down the ball carrier. He picked up about 5.5 yards, but could have been a much bigger gain than that.
2 receivers flank out right, I formation. Green Ellis the running back, and second down and 5. Adams hands it to Green Ellis on the delay, and this time he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Boy, he ran into a closed door there as Marlon Favorite was there for LSU, number 99, along with a couple of others, and there was no place to go. Jacob Cotrera was also there. Third down and 5, and Ole Miss has been dangerous.
Jim,
third down situations.
The thing most noticeable tonight is LSU defensively is not disrupting Ole Miss's offense at all. Normally, you try to cave in the offensive line, get in the backfield, cause some disruption. They haven't done any of that tonight.
2 receivers on the right side out of the I formation. Adams under center. Hands the ball away. Green Ellis, look at him go. First down and a whole lot more. Down to the LSU 28-yard line.
LSU run blitzed and ran right by Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, who picked his hole. Tigers got blocked out of the way. Ollie Highsmith got blocked right out of the hole that he was trying to fill, and Ole Miss picked up the first down at the LSU 28.
Daniels and Jackson combined to make the stop, but Ole Miss owns this game right now, and the clock is in their favor. They already have a 10-point lead. They are deep in LSU territory, and only 2:30 left in the third quarter. Green Ellis again. Ollie Highsmith hits him, but he gets about 3 or 4 yards down at the 25-yard line. And the way Ole Miss is running the football, they don't have to throw it. And they're not throwing it much, but they are running it, keeping it on the ground, running time off the clock. And LSU, at this point, seems unable to stop them.
Now, this is a team that was pitiful.
Yep.
Right, coming into this game.
Pitiful is right. They had a week off after beating Northwestern 2 weeks ago to get ready for this. 2 receivers on the left. I formation, second down and 7. Adams, play action fake, is back deep, wants to throw it, and he throws it into the back of an intended receiver. I guess he was an intended receiver, number 23. That would, that would have been Bruce Hall.
Well, this is a screen pass. LSU had it covered very well, and it was a good play by Adams. He threw it at the feet of the receiver, so it was not like he didn't have a receiver in the area. But LSU had played the screen properly, and it had no chance of being successful.
Third down and 7 now at the LSU 25. Ole Miss has been converting these. Out of the shotgun, a man in motion goes towards the far side. There's the snap to Adams. Short drop to throw. He is hit and tackled at the 30. Got down to a 28-yard line.
Daniel Francis on the blitz from the left corner.
But they are still well within range of the field goal kicker, who made a 37. He has 2 37-yarders in the game. This will be a 45-yarder from a little further back, however. He has the leg to do this. A 45-yard field goal attempt by Shin. Snap, place, kick. Boy, he really hit it well, and he hit it through, and LSU is 2 touchdowns behind with only 1:05 to play in the third quarter. It's amazing. Ole Miss leads LSU 20-7. The LSU Sports Radio Network.
I'm here with beloved mascot Bucky the Bull.
Hi-yo!
So, Bucky, when you're not running up and down the stands charging fans, what are you doing?
Well, I've got a lot of mascot friends, like Wooly the Mammoth, Becky Bull, no relation, but we've all got Singular, so we can talk as much as we want without using our minutes.
Really?
Oh, yeah, with Singular, I can talk to 57 million people without using my minutes.
So, what are you talking about?
Mainly mascot suit rash.
So, with Singular, you won't be getting charged for talking to other Singular customers.
Hey, leave the bull puns to me.
Singular, raising the bar.
A limited nationwide mobile-to-mobile with 1-year agreement.
I've investigated hundreds of crashes involving alcohol. I've seen people injured. I've seen children killed. I've seen adults killed.
All across Louisiana, city police, sheriff deputies, and state troopers are all out to nail drunk drivers hard.
If you make that choice to go out and drink and drive, and I can stop it before you kill someone or yourself, and that's what I will do.
If you drink and drive in Louisiana, you're going to jail.
Well, here is the Ole Miss scoring drive. This time they went 11 plays, 41 yards. They took probably, more importantly than anything, they took 5:59 off the clock. And a 45-yard field goal by Sheen. And LSU has got a huge mountain to climb now. That is 20 straight unanswered points by Ole Miss. After LSU got out in front 7-0, and you can just feel it here, and what you feel is nothing. There's no emotion here tonight in the stands or on the field for the LSU team for whatever reason.
It's kind of like people watching a scrimmage, Jim.
Yep.
I mean, the team is kind of playing that way. It's not like they're playing in a big, important game, and it is an important game.
It sure is.
Really important.
Mosley will kick it away, and LSU has got to score. Holiday and Doucette back deep, but they're not going to get a chance to run it back. That's been some of the difference tonight. As Ole Miss kicks it back in the end zone. Chris Jackson has not kicked it in the end zone tonight, and Ole Miss has run back kickoffs and punts like no other team we've seen this year. Now the LSU offense has got to reach down inside and come up with something here. They must score. They have the ball, 1st and 10. At their 20-yard line. Visit your local Southern Quality Ford dealer and test drive a versatile 2007 Sport Track, which comes with an available V8 engine. The 2007 Sport Track, the perfect vehicle to help you tackle whatever's on your schedule. Louisiana Lottery, proud sponsor of LSU Athletics. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Vincent is the running back. Hester is there, and he's in motion, and here's a play-action fake, and Russell is going to be missed by one. Oh, he's in deep trouble back at the 5-yard line. Now he's going to throw it way downfield, and that may be... It's caught by Doucette. My goodness, an answered prayer at the 35-yard line. 42 yards. Russell was in deep trouble back at his 5-yard line, and he threw it up for grabs, and early Doucette ran it down.
Russell faked a play to Justin Vincent. Saw pressure coming from the left. He spun out in a reverse spin. Spun out again the second time. Rolled to the left. Threw the ball out. Looked like it was going to be intercepted, but he was throwing it on the path that Doucette was crossing the field. Big play to the 38 of Ole Miss.
That might be exactly what LSU needed. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Vincent, the lone running back. Russell under center. Play action fake. Drops to throw. Again, now he's going to run. And he trips and falls at the 35-yard line. LSU desperately trying to get somebody open, and Russell just not seeing it tonight. And that is it. We will go to the 4th quarter, and LSU has got its work cut out for them. As we go to the 4th, Ole Miss 20, LSU 7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
L'Auberge du Lac Hotel and Casino, where indulgence reigns. From the Tom Fazio-designed golf course to the gorgeous spa and pool to 750 luxurious rooms, not to mention 9 fabulous restaurants, plus big-name entertainment in the event center and at Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill. Add a 24-hour Vegas-style casino and prepare to play at L'Auberge du Lac in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Call 866-580-7444 or visit ldlcasino.com. Must be 21 to enter casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Nothing beats a great tailgating party. All the fans, the great food. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the food? I don't have any. You don't have any? I don't have any. So what are we supposed to do now? I don't know. Sing the fight song?
Rule number 1 of tailgating, always bring enough food. And at Associated Food Stores, you'll find the freshest meats, delicious party trays, and all the fixins for an unbeatable tailgating feast. So for your next tailgating party, shop at your neighborhood Associated Food Stores.
Well, we go to the fourth, and LSU trails by 13, 20-7, but they are at the Ole Miss 35-yard line with 2nd and 7. LSU has 9 first downs, Ole Miss 12. The Tigers 176 total yards, Ole Miss 188. Tigers have 57 running, 119 passing. Ole Miss 94 running, 94 passing, dead even. In the third quarter, LSU had 79 yards of offense and Ole Miss 72. LSU's big three, Bo Davis and Doucette, averaged 14 catches for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns per game. Tonight, they have caught 7 for 118 and 1 touchdown. And the Tigers will have it 2nd and 7 to start the fourth quarter. Headed towards the north end zone to our left. Ali Broussard has checked into the ball game at running back. Russell will go under center. 2 receivers left and 1 right. First play of the fourth quarter. Hester in motion. Broussard is handed the football, and he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. And now it is 3rd down and long. Johnson made the stop.
Well, that didn't work, did it?
Nope, didn't.
I mean, that didn't come close to working. A handoff. LSU with the 3 wide receivers in the game on the play. Dwayne Bowe on the left. Time for Dwayne Bowe to be given an opportunity to make a big play here.
The Tigers put themselves in obvious passing situations. And it is 3rd down and 8. 4 receiver pattern. Shotgun formation. Russell drops. Steps up. He throws deep. He's got a man wide open, but he threw it out of the back of the end zone. My goodness. Buster Davis was wide open, and Russell threw it out of the back of the end zone. It's 4th down.
That was a bad pass. Buster Davis had no one covering him. Ole Miss blew the coverage. LSU ran a combination pattern, and Dwayne Bowe ran to the inside that kept the safety in there. The cornerback thought the safety would protect him over the top, and he let Davis run right by him. Davis was 20 yards away from the
and Russell just threw it out of the back of the end zone.
Russell could have just pop-flied out there and let him catch it on the way down.
Biggest play of the game. 4th down and 8. Shotgun formation. Waiting on the snap, and there it is. Here comes Ole Miss. Russell throws, and it is caught and dropped, and a scramble for it at the 20-yard line. That was Buster Davis. He caught it, I believe, and then it was knocked away from him, and they'll have to unpile it. We cannot see from here what happened there.
Well, obviously the official believed he caught the pass.
Well, Jacob Hester comes out of there with it.
Yeah, obviously they gave him the catch because nobody.
Yeah, well, I was pretty sure that he caught it, but then it came out, and I don't know who actually got down and recovered it, but Jacob Hester came out of there with the football.
It was Buster Davis coming from the right side. He made the catch, and then as he tucked it and got hit the first time, a second tackler came and kind of ripped the ball off of his hands, fell down between his legs. He fell down on top of it. The officials are talking maybe.
Ogeron is halfway out on the field and on the far sidelines. And
well, he wants it reviewed, ain't it? Yeah. And I understand why he wanted it reviewed.
Absolutely.
Ruling on the field is a completed catch with a fumble, which was recovered by LSU. First down.
That's not reviewable, I don't believe.
Review.
Well, I guess it is. Timeout of the ball game. 14:05 to go. A critical moment in this game. We'll take a timeout on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
And now a poem about Bell South Triple Choice. Bell South Triple Choice is nice. 3 great services, 1 low price. The best part is you get to choose one of the services you will use. Singular wireless or direct TV. You may not choose the same as me. But that's not all. You also get local and long distance and high-speed internet.
Introducing Bell South Triple Choice. Local and long distance, high-speed internet, plus your choice of direct TV service or singular wireless. Just $99 a month, every month.
$99 a month, that's all. So go ahead, give Bell South a call.
Call 877-ANSWERS today or visit bellsouth.com/triple choice. Quoted rate excludes taxes, fees, and other charges. Offer includes Bell South Preferred Pack Plan, Bell South Talk 200 Special Value Plan, Fast Access DSL Ultra, and the choice of qualifying direct TV or singular wireless plans. Offer expires 12/31/06. Direct TV service subject to credit approval. Hardware available separately. Other conditions apply. Call for details.
Okay, you've been paying way too much for car insurance, and that's going to stop. Just call U.S. Agencies. And here's the kicker. U.S. Agencies could save you as much as 25% with both low down payments and low monthly payments. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to any neighborhood location. Just call 1-800-958-8545 for the location nearest you. U.S. Agencies. Low-cost auto insurance that lets you enjoy the ride.
Well, a very big moment in this ball game. They are reviewing whether or not Buster Davis had possession of the pass at the 20-yard line. What was ruled on the field is that he had it, then he fumbled it, and LSU recovered it. Ed Orgeron disagrees and thinks that Davis never had possession. Now, it'd be nice for LSU to get the benefit of one of these, which hasn't happened this year. And in watching the replay, it's difficult.
There is conclusive video evidence that the pass was incomplete. So the Ole Miss's ball at the previous spot, first down.
Well, there you go. And LSU still hasn't won one. So Ole Miss will take over 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Well, it appeared Buster Davis actually made the catch, and almost immediately it got stripped from him. That's not the way the replay officials saw it. They must have seen that he juggled it. I don't think he juggled it. I think he had possession, but it was temporary because he got whacked right away.
Well, LSU's defense better get it back in a hurry. 2 receivers right in an I formation. The Tigers trail by 13 in the 4th quarter. Here is a handoff, and stuffed at the line of scrimmage this time is Green Ellis by Eiley Highsmith. However, the clock is not LSU's friend right now. 13:35 and ticking away, and LSU trails 20-7. Ole Miss has not done anything spectacular here tonight, but LSU has just been lethargic on both sides of the football. 2nd down and 10 at the Ole Miss 36. Receivers on both sides. Green Ellis, the running back. It is Adams, the quarterback, hands it to Green Ellis, and boy, there's no place there again. Glenn Dorsey slammed the door. It's like running into a brick wall. And it'll be 3rd down and 10.
And that's the LSU defense people have come to expect, as he just got stuffed at the line of scrimmage, initially by Dorsey and then by 3 others who came over to help on the tackle. 3rd and 10 now for Ole Miss. 12:42 remaining in the ball game, and this is the play LSU's got to come up with a game changer.
Ole Miss is 6 of 13 on 3rd down attempts. Well, they're going to use as much clock as they possibly can. Probably going to let it run all the way down and take a timeout here. That's exactly what they're going to do. Play clock is down to 1 second, and they call a timeout. They've got 2 more left. LSU has all 3, but with only 12:19 to go, LSU trails by 2 touchdowns on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference represents the best at intercollegiate athletics. Last year, the SEC produced 6 national champions and finished in the Final Four in 14 of 20 sports finishes, while sending 159 league teams to postseason competition. In addition, 460 SEC student-athletes earned first-team All-America honors, and 71 young men and women were crowned individual national champions. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. The ultimate source for SEC merchandise online is SECstore.com. With more than 6,000 items, this exciting superstore features the best selection of conference and school apparel and collectibles. Authentic SEC Champions locker room caps and T-shirts are available online exclusively at SECstore.com, along with specially designed products for ladies and children. Be sure to check out the weekly promotions and the best selection of SEC merchandise on the World Wide Web at SECstore.com.
Another one of those big plays in the ballgame. LSU has not been able to convert one. Ole Miss has done it several times. 3rd and 11 at their 35, 12:19 to play in the game. 20-7, Ole Miss has rolled off 20 straight points after LSU scored the first touchdown of the ballgame early in the second quarter. But since that time, LSU has not threatened. And Ole Miss has controlled both sides of the football. The Rebs will set up in a shotgun formation. Adams is the quarterback. He is back there with Green Ellis. They'll have 2 receivers right and 1 left when we resume play. Final game of the regular season at home. LSU has to play Arkansas, who clinched the SEC West today. Have to play them in Little Rock next week. Crowd trying to get in it. There's the snap. Adams throws. It's complete. And missing one tackle, but not another. And thrown back behind the 35-yard line is Green. The LSU defense, a nice job that time. And a short gain on the play, and Ole Miss will have to punt.
That is a terrific job defensively. They blitzed Daniel Francis from the left corner, and his pressure forced the quick throw, and then Tyson Jackson came up, made the initial contact, and then helped by almost the entire defense to throw the ball carrier back actually behind the line of scrimmage. They ended up giving forward progress about a half-yard gain, and Ole Miss in punt formation.
And LSU with little room for error now. Buster Davis standing back around the 28-yard line. And waiting on the snap. There is the punt. It's a wobbly end-over-end kick. Davis takes it on the run, heads towards the far sidelines, and goes out of bounds at about the 43-yard line on the far side of the field. That was Rob Park who kicked it away. 29 yards. And a 6-yard return, so LSU has good field position. They've just got to score, and they need to score a touchdown. And we have time out of the ball game. 11:13 to go in the game. LSU trails Ole Miss 20-7 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference is committed to the welfare of all its student athletes. Last year, the SEC distributed more than $2.1 million from the NCAA Special Assistance Fund and the NCAA Student Athlete Opportunity Fund. These programs exist to provide direct financial benefit to student athletes competing in all 20 SEC-sponsored sports. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. During the past 74 years, the Southeastern Conference has established the most outstanding college football tradition in the country. The 12-member institutions have combined for an unprecedented 343 bowl appearances. Key to the success of SEC football is support of the many loyal fans who have helped the conference lead the nation in total attendance for 25 consecutive years. The SEC salutes the more than 6 million fans who will attend a game at an SEC stadium this year.
First and 10 Tigers at their 41-yard line. A must-have touchdown drive here for LSU. Jacob Hester is the running back, and the question is that we all are kind of wondering is about Keelan Williams, if he is hurt tonight or what. He has been running so well the last couple of games. He has not played a down tonight. All right, 4-receiver pattern. 2 on both sides. Russell in the shotgun with Hester back there. 11 minutes and 13 seconds is all that's left in this game.
And a quick score would make that a lot of time.
Yeah, it would. But LSU has not shown that any evidence they're going to do that tonight. There's the snap. Russell drops to throw, and he does throw, and it is caught by Bo, and Bo is down to the Ole Miss 41-yard line. Well, that's a pretty good way to start it. Bo on the reception down to the 41. First and 10 LSU.
And I'll tell you truthfully, you know, Ole Miss is playing that defense a lot. I don't know why LSU doesn't run that every play where Ole Miss is lining up the way that they lined up on that play.
Buzan made the stop. Here is the same pattern. Back is Russell out of the shotgun. He throws complete to Hester. 45, 40, 35, and knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. About 2 yards short of a first down on the near side of the field. Knocked out of bounds by McBride. Stops the clock with 10:46 to go in the game. And LSU will be looking at third down, our second down, and about a yard and a half. Justin Vincent checks back into the ballgame. And it'll be the 4-receiver pattern. LSU looks like they're in the 2-minute drill. 2 receivers on both sides, shotgun formation. Second down and 2. There's the snap. Russell looks to throw, and he does. It is caught by Doucette, and he has the first down at the 27-yard line on the far side of the play. Defensively, Buzan made the tackle. Now, LSU scores touchdowns so far, this year on 42% of its drives. The SEC record for a season since 2000 is held by the 2001 Florida team, which scored touchdowns on 40.9% of its possessions. LSU is 1 for 8 tonight. Shotgun formation, 4-receiver pattern. Russell, the direct snap, throws behind the intended receiver, who was open on the near side of the field. Threw it behind Brandon LaFell, incomplete at about the 20-yard line.
And early Doucette was open to the inside. The safety inside came out to cut off the path to the ball to LaFell, and that made Doucette the open receiver. I think Jamarcus just kind of picked the wrong guy, and he threw it a little bit behind LaFell, trying to keep it away from the safety.
Second down and 10 for LSU at the Ole Miss 26. 10:27 to play in the game. 4-receiver pattern, shotgun formation. Vincent back there with Russell. There's the snap. Russell throws. It is caught by Bo, and he's fighting hard, and extra effort almost got him the first down. He is shoved out of bounds at about the 17-yard line by Corey Johnson.
You know, that's your playmaker, Jim. Dwayne Bowe has always been a playmaker, and that's the guy, you know, I think you got to give him a chance to lay the ball up there. Let him go get it.
Third down and about a yard at the Ole Miss 17. 9:54 and the clock is running. Lone receiver is Doucette on the left side. I formation, Doucette goes in motion. And Ole Miss loads up the box. This is Hester, and Hester has the first down, pushing his way all the way down to the 7-yard line. First and goal to go for LSU.
And all the Tigers got to do now is just finish this off. Just finish the drive quickly. First down and goal at the 7-yard line. The crowd's back into it. Now they're on their feet.
And the Tigers are in the Louisiana Economic Development red zone. Doucette flanks out to the left. I formation. Ole Miss loads up in the box. Russell hands the ball away. Hester trying to come outside and is in trouble. Cuts it back down to about the 5-yard line. He saw that he could not get to the outside, and so he cut it back up the middle, or cut it back upfield, and got about 2 yards before Johnson closed in on him, along with a couple of others. Second and goal from just inside the 5. Hash marks to the near side of the field, and the clock is down to 9 minutes and running. Davis left, Doucette and Bo right. I formation, Vincent the running back. Russell under center. Looks behind him, now goes under center. Play action fake, looks to throw, does. It is a touchdown! Early Doucette caught it in the back of the end zone.
Terrific pass by Jamarcus Russell. He laid it up high. Early Doucette in the slot just went into the end zone, and Russell threw the ball up high so that Doucette could just jump and get it over the defender. He did so before the safety could get over to him. Tigers score with 8:46 remaining in the game, and the extra point will put him at 14, Ole Miss 20.
Pretty important extra point here, try for Cole David. That is the 7th touchdown of the year for Doucette. And a kick is up, and it's good. And so now, with 8:46 to go in the ball game, LSU has closed the gap. It is Ole Miss 20, LSU 14 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
I hold a world of power in my hands. It's the power of parenting. That's why I don't allow alcohol parties for my son and his friends, no matter the occasion. Sure, he only turns 18 once, and he only graduates high school once, but it's never okay to celebrate with a drinking party. It's illegal and irresponsible. From one parent to another. Exercise your power. Prevent. Don't provide alcohol to minors. A message from Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you think about it, bank locations are a lot like touchdowns. You can never get enough of them. And the more you have, the more you get the urge to celebrate in a highly personal way. But let's not go there. So the next time you do business at any of Regions Bank's 1,400 branches or 1,600 ATM locations, don't be ashamed if you break into that victory dance. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC and proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Member FDIC.
Here's the U.S. Agency scoring drive. LSU, 8 plays, went 59 yards. Used 2:27 off the clock. 4 yards, Russell to Doucette. Russell's 23rd touchdown pass this year. Second best at LSU in a season. And Allstate will pay because of the extra point. Each time the Tigers kick a field goal or extra point, Allstate will donate to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Allstate, you're in good hands. All right, Tigers now have just got to get the ball back and make sure that Ole Miss doesn't score another point. 234 yards for LSU, 189 for Ole Miss. See if Chris Jackson can get one in the end zone and disallow Ole Miss the opportunity to run it back, because they have done very well against the LSU kick and punt teams tonight. Back deep for the Rebs, number 40, Miko McSwain, and number 21, Mache Green to receive. Kickoff from right to left. 20-14 Ole Miss. Jackson's kick is going to come up short at the goal line. Back to the 5, to the 10, and spinning and down at the 18-yard. Flag on the play. Flag on the play at about the 17 or 18-yard line.
That's generally going to be against the return team now. Flag thrown like that.
And
there was no face mask or anything, so this is going to be half the distance to the goal, undoubtedly.
Block in the back. McShane was the guy who returned it, but the penalty moves it back half the distance to the goal, which should put it at about the Ole Miss 8 or 9 yard line. Now the crowd can get into it, and they are. And the Tiger defense can make something good happen here.
And LSU's defense set the tempo last possession. They've made 3 very fine plays to get the ball back. They need to do exactly the same here.
2 receivers, flank left. Lone running back is Green Ellis. Adams at quarterback. At the 9-yard line, first down. Hand off to Green Ellis. Stuffed at the 7. Marlon Faberwright stuffed him. And it'll be second down and about 12.
This is a different LSU defense than the one that's been playing all night before the last couple of series, Jim. They're striking a blow now.
Glenn Dorsey was also in on the stop. Green Ellis, 23 carries for 69 yards. Clock, 7:43 to go in the ball game. 20-14 Ole Miss. The Rebs using as much time as possible. Second down and 11. two receivers, flank right. Split back formation. Adams under center, man in motion. Timeout called by Ole Miss. Adams stood straight up and called timeout, and Ole Miss burns its second timeout of the game. Well, the play clock was almost down to nothing because they are using as much time as they can. There's only 7:24 left in the game. Ole Miss leads 20-14. The LSU Sports Radio Network.
Tiger fans, Best Western has an offer for you that's as large as Louisiana. How'd you like to win tickets to LSU's regular season finale in Death Valley against Ole Miss on November the 18th? Well, to enter, visit bestwesternlouisiana.com for your chance to win tickets to the game and an LSU Sports gift pack. Plus, stay at a Louisiana Best Western between now and December 15th, and you can earn double points or miles with Gold Crown Club International, our frequent guest program. To register, go to bestwesternlouisiana.com or call 1-800-WESTERN for details. Good luck and go Tigers! Additional terms and conditions apply.
I got to get up early. I got to be on time. Only the Ford F-150 is tough enough to be number one for 29 years.
And right now, a built Ford Tough 2006 F-150 comes with a $1,000 Chrome Package discount. That's a great deal on the truck with best-in-class payload. Test drive a new Ford F-150 today at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer. Based on manufacturer's retail sales 1976 to present. Class is full-size pickup. 'Cause I'm built Ford Tough.
All right, it is second down and 11 for Ole Miss. The ball at about the 9-yard line. This crowd has really gotten into it. 7:24 to go in the game. Ole Miss leads 9th-ranked LSU 20-14. Tigers has scored the last time they had the ball in a 59-yard 8-play drive. And a 5-yard pass to early Doucette from Jamarcus Russell. This is an extended timeout for some reason. The crowd's booing. They're ready to play football. I don't know why it's this long. It was a called timeout, and this is going to end up being about a 2-minute timeout for whatever reason. All right, now they're going to say we can play ball, and the crowd immediately turns back on. Two receivers left, split back formation. Adams under center. Man in motion coming to the near side. Adams, play action fake, rolls to the near side, throws incomplete at the 10-yard line. He just barely got it away before Tyson Jackson busted him.
A bootleg action, a fake pitch to the left side. He rolled back to the right, trying to get to Robert Lane out there in the right flat. Ollie Highsmith did not buy the fake. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Covered that receiver, and he was all over him. The ball had to be thrown away. Third down, about 10.5 yards to go, and tremendous play now. 7:19. The clock stopped there. Yep. So LSU's in exactly the shape they want to be in here.
Three receivers on the left side, one on the right, shotgun formation. Adams at quarterback. There's a snap. LSU jumped off sides.
I think the right tackle
maybe
jumped up.
Ole Miss moved. LSU clapping their hands.
Snap. False start. 79 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Tigers got him a little rattled right now.
Got a little rattled. They've got to take advantage now. You can't let them make the play. You've got to continue the pressure on them, but don't do anything stupid. Don't take chances defensively. By that I mean do what your coaches have coached you to do. Don't try to make a play by yourself. Make a play as a team.
Ball is back inside the 5 now, and it is third down and 15. 7:18 to go in the game. 20-14, Ole Miss leads. Two receivers left and one right. The ball at the Ole Miss 4-yard line. Adams goes under center. And LSU may have jumped off sides, or maybe Ole Miss moved again. The Tigers are pointing like they did, and if they did, the crowd's got something to do with it. It got very, very loud. They're talking it over. LSU's pointing one way, and Ole Miss is pointing the other. There was movement at the line of scrimmage.
Jim, the reason this is important is that, let's see what it is.
False start.
Yep.
77.
Ole Miss moved again.
As Ole Miss gets pushed further back towards the goal line. If they do not make the play, then their punter does not have much room back in the end zone. So pushing them back to the goal line really is important here.
Ball is at the 3-yard line. Third down and 17. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Green Ellis is the lone running back. Adams under center. Hands it to Green Ellis, and he's tripped up at about the 7-yard line. But I tell you what, he broke it past the line of scrimmage. And one more step, and that would have been a huge gainer. But LSU made the tackle. Dorsey, I believe,
Glenn Dorsey got a piece of him. Glenn Dorsey fought his blocker off and then reached out with his left arm and cut the legs out from underneath the ball carrier to hold it to a short gain, as Ole Miss, with the ball at about the 9-yard line, will be punting it away.
Now Park will be standing about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Buster Davis is standing at midfield. 6:43 left in the game and ticking. LSU trails by 6. There is the snap. There's the kick, and boy, it is a great one. And Davis calls for a fair catch and takes it at midfield. They had a gunner down there that really got down there in a hurry and disallowed Davis any chance. That was Cassius Vaughn. A 41-yard punt and no return. LSU in great position. They start at midfield, trailing by 6 with 6:29 to go in the game.
And I mean, the ball is right at midfield and right almost in the middle of the field, equal between the hash marks, just a little towards the LSU bench.
Okay, the Tigers now, no mistakes allowed. Receivers on both sides, 4 receiver pattern out of the shotgun. Russell with the snap. Throws, caught by Bo, down at the Ole Miss 43-yard line. And it'll be second down. He caught it and went to a knee.
Same play that Bo started off the series last time. That inside cut out of the slot to the right side. Bo's the outside receiver, goes down about 7 or 8 yards, cuts to the inside, made the reception, 2nd and 2.
Same pattern. Here comes the blitz. Russell throws, complete the do set. And he breaks one tackle and goes down at the 34. First down LSU. Ole Miss brought the house that time. They had everybody coming.
And a smart play by Russell. He saw it coming, knew that Doucette was going to be wide open on the inside. He was the slot receiver on the left, saw the blitz coming, cut his pattern short to the inside. First down LSU at the 34.
Receivers on both sides, 4 receiver pattern, shotgun formation, 1st and 10 LSU at the Ole Miss 34. Russell with the ball, steps up and throws, and there is Buster Davis, and my goodness, he was open at the 10, and Russell threw it 5 yards out of bounds.
Well, Buster Davis made a great corner move. He ran a post corner, came wide open, turned his defender around, and Jamarcus Russell just
made a bad throw.
Bad throw.
Just made a bad throw.
He's had some bad throws tonight, which he has not had the whole season. That adrenaline's flowing in there, and he's having a hard time controlling it on the long passes.
Davis, Bo, and Doucette all have 4 catches tonight. There is the shotgun formation, 4 receiver pattern. Hester is back there with Russell. Has the snap. He is going to look. He's going to throw it, and it is, my goodness, it is dropped by Brandon LaFell down at the 30-yard line. And now LSU has 3rd down and 10. You cannot stall out here. 5:26 to play in the game. LSU had Ole Miss reeling, and the Tiger offense has got to keep it going.
Russell got surprised by the snap in the shotgun, but he recovered to catch it. LaFell was out there on the sideline.
He wasn't going anywhere anyhow.
But had he caught it, it would be a 5 or 6 yard gain. That's all he had to do.
Big play here, 3rd down and 10. 2 receivers on both sides. Hester is back there. There's the snap. Ole Miss is bringing everybody again. And Russell he fumbles the ball. Ole Miss is going to pick it up. Now it's loose again, and LSU may have recovered it. However, that was a terrible play for LSU for that to happen for the Tigers. They'll unpile around midfield, and my goodness, Ole Miss is just bringing everybody. They're taking big chances and bringing everybody. And LSU just unable to do anything about it. They recovered the football, but now it is 4th down, and they have to get all the way down to the 24-yard line. The line of scrimmage is going to be the LSU right back where they started, at about midfield. And I guess they're going to have to punt it away.
Sure, that's the right thing to do. There's plenty of time left in the game, 5:15. LSU, 3 timeouts left. just really blew a big opportunity, though.
Well, they just were not able to keep the Ole Miss blitz away, and Russell, trying to make something happen, just couldn't. All right, Chris Jackson standing at the 35. This will just make it more difficult for LSU. There is the snap, and there's the kick, and that's a good one. A high, wobbly, hanging spiral, and it is going to roll into the end zone. And Russell Jackson didn't try to kick it out of bounds. He didn't aim it for the coffin corner. He kicked it into the end zone, 50 yards, and Ole Miss starts at their 20.
Well, the fans are staying for this one. They ain't leaving at halftime, are they?
No, but boy, that was a huge disappointment there. Huge disappointment.
Big opportunity blown. LSU completed a couple of passes to start the drive. Had Brandon LaFell made the catch on second down, would have put the Tigers about 3rd and 5 and made it much more makeable.
Yeah, Ole Miss will use up the clock as much as they can. 4:40 and ticking away. LSU defense needs a big play as the offense could not get it done. Man in motion from the far side. Here's a toss to Green Ellis trying to go around the far side. And he is still going, and nobody can get him until he's all the way up to the 31-yard line.
That didn't help.
That did not help.
Tigers gave up a first down on first down.
Jesse Daniels was over to make the stop. Napa Auto Parts is helping rebuild the natural treasures of the Gulf Coast, and you can help. Hurry into a participating Napa store and get a Napa Special Edition Mossy Oak cap for just $5, or get one free with a $40 purchase. Napa, let's fix it. 1st and 10, Ole Miss at the 32-yard line. LSU had them on the ropes a moment ago. They had to kick it out of the end zone. Tigers had a 1st and 10 inside the 30 and had to punt it. 2 receivers right, I formation. Green Ellis bouncing off of tacklers, goes down at the 34. It'll be 2nd down and about 7. Daniels and Landry combined to make the stop, but the clock is down now to 3:46, and I think LSU will take a timeout. They've got all 3 of them. But it is getting really serious now. I tell you, a moment ago, for one of the few times in the ball game, you had a feeling that LSU really had a chance to win this game because of the situation they were in. And then a very poor throw by Russell, a drop by LaFell, and then a fumble by Russell on a blitz way back at midfield absolutely took him out of it.
It's just proof of it, Jim, that you got to make the plays when you have the opportunity. I mean, they just don't come very often. You'll have a chance to make a play. There's twice in this game that Jamarcus Russell has had wide open receivers. One in the end zone would have been a sure touchdown, and that was Buster Davis also.
Yep.
The other, Buster Davis on the corner pattern where he was wide open for about a 25-yard gain. Both of them, the passes didn't have to be particularly good. They didn't have to be real fine. They could have just been laid out there because the receivers were so wide open, and that's uncharacteristic of what Jamarcus Russell has come to be, but it's very important in a game like this because those are the kind of plays that you have to make if you're going to play at a championship level. When you have the other team beat physically, when your pass receiver gets open, quarterback's got to put the ball somewhere where he can catch it, and that just did not happen, and consequently Ole Miss has been able to regain possession.
2nd down and 6, 2 receivers left, I formation. Green Ellis, 26 rushes, 92 yards and a touchdown. He's got the ball again, and he is stopped at about the line of scrimmage. The 36. Glenn Dorsey was there along with Ollie Highsmith. And now it is 3rd down, and LSU burns its 2nd timeout. Well, here's tonight's answer from the Verizon Wireless Text to Win promotion. The answer is A, Southwestern Louisiana. On November 21st, 1936, the Tigers defeated the Bulldogs by a score of 93-0. That is your answer. LSU, there was no score at the end of the first quarter, but the Tigers took a 7-0 lead on a 13-yard pass from Russell LeBeau with 13:55 left to play in the half. However, on the ensuing possession, Ole Miss, after a really unnecessary and careless offsides penalty on the kickoff, allowed Ole Miss a second shot at it LSU had to kick it again, and they returned it all the way down to the LSU 34, which led to a 22-yard touchdown pass. They tied it at 7. Then a very unnecessary personal foul penalty on the point after gave Ole Miss a chance to kick the ball off at midfield. They converted an onside kick, got it at the LSU 39, went in to go ahead for the go-ahead touchdown 14-7, and that's the way the half ended. 20-7 going into the fourth. It is 20-14 now. Third down and 6. 2 receivers left. I formation. Adams under. Play action fake. He rolls. Is being chased. He's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. Chase Pittman ran him down back at the 27. And Ole Miss will have to punt it away, and there still is plenty of time in this game for LSU.
Terrific job by Chase Pittman to defeat his block. It was a play-action rollout then to the left. Pittman maintained exactly the correct angle to force the quarterback, Seth Adams, to just hit the ground for a big loss of about 6 or 7 yards.
So Buster Davis stands back around the LSU 35. And on to kick it away is Rob Park, standing back around the Ole Miss 14. 4th down and 14. And there's the snap. And there's the, it's a bad kick off the side of his foot. And it goes out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And there's a flag down.
They're going to call it on Curtis Taylor.
You got to be kidding me.
Curtis Taylor got in there. He was rushing from the right side, and he ran into the kicker. Now, he didn't rough the kicker. He tried to avoid it. No reason to get so close to it, though.
None whatsoever.
My goodness.
That is just another careless penalty. When you want the ball with as much time as you can get. Now, if it's running into the kicker, it's
running into the kicker, 27 of the receiving team, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Well, that's actually, they'll have to punt it again, but LSU would have got it in great field position.
Yeah, I mean, it was
that's going to have to be done over again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Why run into the kicker? Why get close to it?
It was a 27-yard kick.
All you want to do is make sure that he punts the ball. You're not going to try to block it. You're not close enough to block
now
it.
Rob Park is standing at the 20, and Buster Davis is back around the LSU 30. 2:42 to go in the game. LSU trails by 6. Ready on the snap. There it is. And that's a better kick. Davis takes it on the run and is down immediately at the 42-yard line. Again, that's terrific coverage by Ole Miss special teams. Only 29 yards and about a 2-yard return. But LSU's got it in good shape. They've got a chance to win this football game, or at least to take the lead. With 2:35 left to go, 1 timeout. Each team has a timeout. LSU trailing 20-14.
Well, just come out and play. Do what you can do. LSU pitches and catches it well. You don't have to trick people. Just send the guys out there, tell them to get open, throw it.
4 receiver pattern, 2 on both sides. Vincent is back there with Russell in the shotgun. He drops to throw. Lots of time. Now he will run it himself. And the big guy is at midfield, and he's down to the 44-yard line on the Russell scramble. First down, LSU.
That's the most nimble run he's ever made. He had to make 2 or 3 cuts during the course of the run. He saw that it was open. Ole Miss only rushed 4 people, and he got upfield, juked a couple of tacklers, got by Patrick Willis.
I tell you what, though.
Really?
He had the ball way out there. All right, out of the shotgun. Here is the snap, and Russell will throw it, and it is caught at the 36-yard line by Dwayne Bowe.
They just can't cover Dwayne Bowe. He's too good.
And the tackle was made immediately by Muzan, and there is 2:02 left to play in the game. And the ball is at the 36-yard line, 2nd down and 3. Vincent is in the backfield now as the Tigers set up in the shotgun, 4 receiver pattern. There's a snap. Russell looks. And I'm not sure what happened there. I guess he was tackled back. I was looking down at the receiver. I thought he was going to throw the ball. He goes down at the 42-yard line for a loss. They sacked him, and LSU burns their last timeout. That was a huge defensive play by Ole Miss there. And so now the Tigers are looking at 3rd down and about 8 back at the 41-yard line. And Doug, I saw him make the pump and look down to see who he was going to throw it to.
Likewise,
and the ball never left.
I thought actually he had thrown the ball and that it hit one of the defensive linemen and it just dropped to the ground, but apparently he pulled the ball back in and he hit the ground. Happened quick. I was looking downfield too to see who he was throwing to and didn't get a look at the sack.
I tell you what, Ole Miss has made some terrific defensive plays, and that's exactly what they did the last time LSU had the football, and it looked like a chance to score and take the lead. They brought everybody. LSU couldn't stop them, and they sacked Russell way back at midfield. This time they sacked him back at the 42. Show your Tiger spirit every time you get a call with the Louisiana State Fight Song ringback tone. You can treat callers to the LSU Fight Song while they wait for you to pick up. Simply send a text to 728. Put 107 as the message, only from Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. 1:39 left to play in the game.
Well, Ole Miss is going to be
LSU cannot stop it again.
Ole Miss is going to be playing for about a 10 or 12-yard pass because that's what LSU needs for the first down. And maybe time, go ahead and send one side deep.
3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Shotgun formation. Here they come again. Russell's looking. He can't find anybody. He does throw. It's caught at the 35, 30, 25, and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Buster Davis on the near side of the field. Huge play there. First down, LSU.
Crossing pattern. Buster Davis coming from the right side across the field. Jamarcus Russell waited on him, laid it in there just nicely. Davis, with sure hands, made the reception and then turned it upfield to pick up extra yards. 1:29 remaining in the game. LSU first down at the 21-yard line of Ole Miss.
Willis and McBride on the stop. Bowe and Davis flank out right. Vincent is the running back, and Russell will go under center. 1st and 10. And here is Davis in motion. Straight back is Russell to throw. Being chased, he throws, and it is overthrown. Bowe was in the end zone. He was covered well, but the ball was thrown over his head. If it had been down about 3 inches, Bowe catches that, it's a touchdown.
That's right. If he had just thrown the ball lower, Bowe had inside position. The defender had defended him well, but Bowe's just bigger. And if the ball had been thrown low enough for Bowe to get his hands near it, he would have made the reception.
Yep. That's Russell has been high on several occasions tonight. 4 receiver pattern. Hester is back there with Russell in the shotgun. There's a snap. Here comes the blitz again. Russell throws. It is complete to Bowe. He caught it but fell down at the 17-yard line.
My gosh, could have been a good play. Bowe just kind of
Tigers have to hustle.
LSU's got to try hustle, right?
Right, and it is 3rd down, so they've got to run a play. Clock is coming up on 1 minute. They cannot stop it again. 3rd down and 6. 4 receiver pattern. Hester is back there. 56 seconds left in the game. There's a snap. Russell drops to throw. And he will run it. Big guy's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's at the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal to go. 46 seconds left in the game. Johnston made the stop on the big guy.
This is LSU's game if LSU chooses to make it so, Jim. That's all there is to it. With the ball here, there is really no way that Ole Miss can stop LSU if the Tigers will their way into the end zone. They've got 4 shots at it from here.
But the clock is running, and they have no timeouts. 4 receiver pattern, shotgun formation. Hester is back there with Russell. There's a snap, and Russell looks. And he breaks a tackle. He's going to throw it up out of the back of the end zone. He just threw that one away wisely. Again, he had tremendous pressure. Hester was over there along with LaFell, and he threw that one out of the back of the end zone. It stops the clock with only 27 seconds left in the game.
It'd be a good time, Jim, to run a trips on one side. Now, the ball, where the ball's located, is towards the left hash mark, and on the right side, run trips over there and cross your receivers. The 2 receivers on the outside run slants to the inside. Well, let the defensive backs pick each other off.
But if LSU doesn't score, they can't stop the clock. And they got trips on the right. Shotgun formation. Russell looking, throws. In and out of the hands of Bowe in the back of the end zone, and it comes down to 1 play. Actually, it's 2 plays. 3rd down. 3rd down and 6, and that stopped the clock with 21 seconds.
Well, that's a pass Dwayne Bowe can catch. Yep. Now, it was kind of high.
And a little hard.
But it's a pass he can catch.
20-14, Ole Miss leads LSU. Tigers trying to get it in the end zone. They have 2 downs and 21 seconds to do that. 3 receivers right and 1 left. Hester is back there with Russell. There's a snap. Russell looks and throws. Oh, my goodness. Hester had it and dropped it at the 2-yard line. That's a touchdown.
Well,
oh, my goodness. That is a touchdown, and he just didn't catch the ball. And now it is down to 1 play with 18 seconds left.
Well, that's 2 possibilities. LSU could have had Dwayne Bowe, could have made the catch in the end zone, was not able to hang on. Jacob Hester just let that go right through his hands. Now, he was at the 2-yard line, and he would have caught it there. He would have been knocked out of bounds, so the clock would have been stopped.
Yep. All right, this is it. 4th down and goal. 18 seconds to play. LSU can't stop it. They either score, they either win it or lose it right here. Russell throws. Caught! Bones got it! Touchdown!
That's your playmaker, Dwayne Bowe. That's the guy you throw it to, I'm telling you. What a fine play. Just a simple pattern. Dwayne Bowe, as big as he is, runs a post pattern to the inside. Jamarcus Russell throws the ball about helmet high to him. And because he catches the ball well with his hands, he's able to reach back to the ball and keep any contact with his body from causing a problem.
Well, Ole Miss has called their final timeout now, and Colt David has a chance to give LSU the lead with 14 seconds left on the clock. Wow.
Well, you know, that's a great play.
That's a terrific play.
That's a fine pass and a great play by Dwayne Bowe.
Win or lose play. Well, let's see what happens here. Here is the U.S. Agency scoring drive. The Tigers with a terrific 11-play, 58-yard drive. Use 2:21. Cole David can give LSU the lead.
I wrote Dwayne Bowe a little note this week, Jim, and I told him this the night before the Tennessee game. I truly believe it, that he is the best to ever wear number 80 at LSU, and he truly is. Truly is.
That was your number 1.
It truly is. Let me tell you, he has worn it so well and represented it so well, and he proved it once again just now.
All right. Here we go. Flynn will put it down. Colt David will try to give the Tigers the lead. There's a snap. Blocked! It was blocked. Can you believe that? Oh, my word. That is the first time that Colt David has missed this year. Holy cow. It was blocked, and we are tied at 20.
I'll be doggone.
That is beyond my ability to comprehend that.
Well, Colt David looked like, I don't know if anybody got through the middle. If they did, that's a great defensive play by Ole Miss. It might be that the kick was just low. Pressure-packed kick, you know, guys got to make that. But,
yep, but he didn't.
But we get to stay longer, don't we?
Well, maybe. I mean, Ole Miss, there's 14 seconds out there. My goodness.
Well, Tigers will kick it off, you know. I mean, if Ole Miss can score in 14 seconds, then LSU does not deserve to have them in overtime.
Well, that is, boy, that is like sticking a pin in a balloon right there.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Tigers fought back, got those 2 touchdowns. Top of the world. All you got to do is just chip that extra point through there.
And from the Ole Miss side of the ball, wasn't that something? Well, Cole David had made 77 straight points after. 77. And this one that could have been a game winner was blocked. So, you know, you can't put that blame all on him.
Oh, no. I'm not saying unless...
Ole Miss just flat made a great play. They have not shown us a replay of it. So we don't know for sure who blocked it. Dollar says John Jerry, number 77, blocked it, but we have not been able to see the replay. My goodness. Looked like that somebody just came right up the middle, and I mean it wasn't just a tip either. It was a thud. It was somebody just absolutely beat the LSU offensive line, and so this one looks like it may be headed to overtime. Jackson will kick it away from right to left. And again, it's coming up very short. Taken at the 10-yard line. Back to the 15 and up to the 30, and down he goes with 6 seconds left to play in the game. So Ole Miss has a chance to throw a Hail Mary or just concede and go to overtime here. Well, you just got to take a deep breath.
You do.
I mean, that takes all the wind out of you to see that happen.
You were right about being deflated. I mean, with all of the intensity.
Ole Miss is not going to run a play, so we're fixing to go to overtime. That's it. So this game in regulation ends in a 20-20 tie. We will go to LSU's first overtime game of the year. We'll come back with that after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Can I find a doctor who agrees that watching the Tigers counts as cardio?
At Auctioner, you can. We're the official healthcare sponsor of LSU Athletics and a proud supporter of the community. We can care for your every need, routine, or more serious, in one of our 30 friendly, convenient locations in Southeast Louisiana. At Auctioner, healthcare with peace of mind can be yours. To find out how, call 1-866-AUCTIONER or visit auctioner.org.
Unnecessary roughness, 15 yards. Hello.
Yes, can I speak with the referee, please?
Speaking.
Hi, this is a fan up in Section J. Hey, man, that's the kind of bad call that'll show up on ESPN.
Really?
Yeah, I know, because I have Verizon Wireless with Vcast, which lets me get game highlights straight to my cell phone.
No penalty on the play. Third down.
Verizon Wireless, it's the network. Call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. Vcast phone coverage and $15 a month VPAC subscription required.
Good things come in threes. Triple fortune. Triple fortune.
Play Triple Fortune, the new $2 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $12,000. Over $129,000 doubled and triple prizes. Stop and ask for Triple Fortune today.
Scratch and you can see what your fortune will be. Good things come in threes.
Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Looking for a new truck? Here's the case for the 2007 Chevy Silverado Classic. Now it's backed by the GM 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty. Whichever comes first. See dealer for details. Case closed. Chevy Silverado. Power meets protection. That's an American revolution.
All right, we're going to have the coin toss. Unfortunately, Jordy's microphone has gone out on us, so we can't go down there. We can just tell you that there is the toss of the coin, and they will give us an indication as to who won it. And at this point, I don't know. It looks like
LSU won the toss.
Okay.
Has elected to play defense.
Okay.
First down, Ole Miss.
LSU won and elected to play defense, and so Ole Miss will get it.
And Ole Miss wisely, I guess, decided they want to play at the non-student end. Although that's a pretty rabid group down there in the south end.
Yeah, but that's where the Ole Miss fans are down there also.
Yeah, but I tell you what, the LSU rabid fans down there are more rabid than the Ole Miss fans that are here.
I'm sorry about Jordy's microphone, but it just doesn't work. Went out on us, and that's why we haven't heard from him here in the second half. They will place the ball down at the 25-yard line. And there is no clock. There is no time. Only the play clock will run. And here comes Ole Miss up to the line of scrimmage.
This is where you run a trick play on first down. Brent Schaefer back in the game, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Two receivers on the right side and an I formation. Schaefer under center. He's the southpaw quarterback. Hands the ball away to Green Ellis, and he fights hard down to about the 21-yard line. He broke the initial contact. LSU hit him at the 25, but he ended up getting 4 down to the 21. And obviously, Ole Miss is already in field goal territory. You just about are when you're handed the ball here. But nobody thinks field goal in overtime. You're trying to get it in the end zone. Two receivers on the right side. Split back formation, second down and 6. Schaefer sends a man in motion on the near side. Play action fake, rolls to the near side. He wants to try to run, and he goes down at the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Perfect defensive play by the Tigers there.
Perfect defensive play. It was a run fake and then a roll out to the right by Schaefer. It was a run all the way, I think, and he thought that he would be able to fool LSU. In fact, the entire LSU defense got over there waiting for him to hold him to no gain.
Jesse Daniels credited with the tackle. 3rd down and 5 at the LSU 20. We're in overtime, tied at 20 apiece. Ole Miss blocked a point after try with 14 seconds left to force overtime. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers left and 1 right. There's the snap. Schaefer being pressured, rolling to the near side, fumbles the ball, and LSU recovers. He fumbled the ball. It was recovered by Tyson Jackson. So a field goal now can win it in overtime for LSU.
What a terrific defensive series of 3 plays for LSU. Coming from the backside, Luke Sanders took a bad angle, but Daniel Francis from the right side came in behind, stripped the ball away from Schaefer. LSU recovered it, and so in overtime, the ball goes over to the other team. Ole Miss fails to score, and wouldn't it be something if Colt David, whose extra point got blocked, ends up with the field goal that wins
That would be something, but how about let's just put it in the end zone and forget it.
Yes, right, and you don't have to worry about the extra point in overtime.
Right. Through regulation, LSU 292 yards, Ole Miss 202. 16 first downs for LSU, 13 for Ole Miss. All right, the Tigers have 2 receivers right and 1 left. Hester is the running back. Jordan in motion. Russell hands it to Hester. He cuts to the outside, and he is at the 20 and goes down inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Nice run over the left side by Jacob Hester. 16 first downs for LSU, 13 for Ole Miss. The Tigers 217 yards passing, 75 running. Ole Miss 95 passing, 107 running. That was Johnston who made the stop. Gain on the play of 6. 2nd down and 4 Tigers at the Ole Miss 19 in overtime. Lone receiver is Doucette. He's flanked out to the right. I formation. Russell hands to Hester. Hester is down and has the first down, I believe, at the 15-yard line. The LSU offensive line doing a terrific job there.
Tigers can feel this one, Jim. I'll tell you, their offensive line's blowing off 2 running plays to open the series, so the ball's inside of the 15.
Yep. First and 10. Jenkins and Willis and Johnson and several others on the stop. Doucette flanks left. I formation, Hester and Jordan. Russell under center. Give to Hester, and Hester piles ahead down to the 10-yard line. The LSU offensive line is really stepping it up now. And the Tigers knocking it off at about 5 yards a clip. 2nd and 5, just inside the Ole Miss 10-yard line. We are in overtime, tied at 20. Doucette flanks right. Lone receiver. Hester, Jordan in the I. Russell under center. Hester is tripped up as he got inside the 10 down to the 9. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 for a first down.
I think they've
actually going to put him at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think they've just decided all they want to do is make sure they don't fumble, don't have it intercepted. If they make the first down, fine. Ali Broussard now coming in the game.
Well, he started
and the coaches calling him back out. Ali has a tendency to drop it sometime, and I guess the coaches remembered that before they sent him all the way in.
So 3rd down and 5 at the 10. I formation, Doucette flank right. He goes in motion. Russell hands it to Hester. Cuts outside and is going to be tripped up at the 9, and Colt David will have a chance to win it with a field goal. All right, he is stopped by Truman McBride. And it is redemption time for Colt David.
Now let's see here. Yeah, remember, Ole Miss blocked that extra point.
Yeah, they sure did.
The same guys that block on the extra point for LSU are going to be blocking here, and you can bet that they have tried to address 26-yard
field goal. for the win in overtime. And Ole Miss will use its timeout. Well, it worked the last time. Why not? Timeout of the ball game. LSU trying to win it with a field goal. We'll take a timeout here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Enormous SUV driver. Your mammoth machine strikes the perfect balance between the towing capacity of a tractor-trailer and the sleek styling of a tractor-trailer.
Keep on trucking.
You've got a tough choice to make. Fill up the tank or relieve the national debt.
Fill her up.
So truck on home and grab a Bud Light Enormous SUV guy.
Mr. Enormous SUV driver.
Bud Light beer at Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Cox Sports Television brings you a new look this football season with all the same great teams our fans expect. The LSU Tigers return with conference games against Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee. And CST has all 12 full game replays Sundays and Wednesdays at 7. Saturdays, it's live college games throughout the day, plus the award-winning highlight show CST Tonight at 10 p.m. Check local cable providers for specific CST channels or visit CoxSportsTV.com. Catch the Tigers at big-time college football this fall on CST.
Hash marks to the far side of the field in overtime. Colt David can win it with this 26 or 27-yard field goal. Matt Flynn will put it down or try to get it down. Waiting on the snap. And there it is. The kick is up. And the Tigers win the game! Colt David knocks it through after having a point-after-touchdown blocked. He comes back and wins it with a 26-yard field goal. What a comeback by LSU in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss fought valiantly, but LSU was the better team. And LSU prevails in overtime 23-20. The postgame show begins after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
At Subway restaurants, we take care of more than just growling stomachs. We are proud sponsors of the LSU Tigers, too. Now you can upgrade your fresh value meal and get an exclusive 32-ounce LSU football schedule cup. Go up by 3 with this great deal. Your choice of a delicious sub, chips, and a refreshing drink in an LSU Tigers Collector's Cup. But you better come rushing because this offer is valid for a limited time only at participating Subway restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. Subway is a registered trademark of Doctors Associates Incorporated.
Bill, got a second? Sure, I'll call a timeout. Fine. Did you do an end zone dance when you got an email this morning? Yeah, I love that! Yeah, well, we don't. Now, you've been trying to start the wave in meaty. Team's counting on me! Go team! Hey, you're freaking the team out.
The real Yellow Pages and YellowPages.com from Bell South don't claim to understand sports fanatics, but as the #1 directory in the Southeast, the real Yellow Pages provides real solutions for things like tailgating supplies, season tickets, and even face paint.
Bill, I need that report by 5.
5, 4, 3!
No, just 5.
High 5!
Statistics provided by Knowledge Networks SRI Industry Usage Study 2004.
When you think about it, bank locations